guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you a preview to and everything else you need to know to tomorrow's game, Tottenham versus Crystal Palace, of course, at Selhurst Park in the Premiership, where if we win, of course, we should stay top for the weekend. So that'll be absolutely brilliant. And we are joined by co-host Jack and Danny Kiriakou. Jack, my man, how are things?
Keeping well, David. Keeping well. I actually have the Eagles wings marinating in the fridge with a bit of jerk sauce, a bit of marinade. I'm going to make them a bit spicy, not too spicy though, because it's only, kind of a mid-afternoon or early morning kind of game for me. So, but have, the Eagles wings already ready and prepared, David, for me and Hoy Beer to snack on tomorrow.
No, definitely. Look, make sure you save some for me, Jack. I'll be over. I'm not sure a bit about the jerk sauce, but look, I'm all over the Eagle wings. I definitely want to clip some tomorrow, that's for sure. But Danny, how are you, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm proper excited for tomorrow. I'm just looking forward to seeing Hill play, man. That's I'd like. Do you know what? It'd make my dream if I saw Ndombele play tomorrow, because you know what I've said in your last show as well. I'm excited, man. It's been a long day, but I'm glad that we got the first match of the weekend, which is even better. So you can't complain. Let's just hope Tottenham don't let us down, man.
No, look, I don't think they will. Look, I think we should beat Palace tomorrow, that's for sure. But look, let's welcome some of the Harris Army. I know there's some eager beavers in here today. So let's see who we got. We've got Mr. Edwardson says, hey, David, big yourself up. Big up, Mr. Edwardson. We have Am Singh says, big up, boys. Nuno doesn't give much away in his conferences, to be honest. Come on, you Spurs.
Big up, Am Singh.
He doesn't. You may as well be speaking to a concrete wall in the press conferences, honestly. But
David, there's nobody better at deflecting. He's like Floyd Mayweather when it comes to the questions, Dave. He's like Floyd Mayweather.
Lads, right, honestly, right, I delayed the preview from yesterday to today because I was waiting on the press conference thinking, I'll get all these injury updates. Perfect. Man, I came out of it none the wiser.
Yeah. Look, the only thing I got from it was like Son he said it's pretty bad or something like that. He says not good. And that was it. So that means he's probably going to be out for like a week or two, I'd say.
Look, hopefully he's playing a bit of the Jose mind games, ahead of the Chelsea and Arsenal playing a long game. That would be nice. William McKenzie says, come on, you Spurs brothers and sisters. Big up, William. Let me know how you get on in your cup game this weekend, my man. Let me know. We have James Redmond. One can always rely on the Irish Hotspur for late night entertainment, nothing on TV anyway. Honestly, do you know what? I used to sit down, back in the day, in the teenage years, I used to love sitting down watching late night TV. I'd be going to bed late and everything because it was actually good TV. But nowadays, there's absolutely nothing on. So, why not watch the Irish Hotspur after Coronation Street finishes at 7:30, 8 o'clock? There's nothing else on telly, so just tune in here. Big up, James Red. Really appreciate it, my man. Really appreciate it. Do I detect a loss of interest amongst viewers? I don't know about that, my man. Don't know about that. Sean Snow says, here we go. Ndombele to start. Yeah, we'll get some of that. Wishful thinking. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Big up, Mr. K. Ndombele's head's not in the right place yet. Sean Snow says, love you, Harris Army, Flat Cap Army, hashtag come on you Spurs, big yourself up.
Big up, Sean.
We have Luke Cooper says, Eagles. No, look, Eagle wings more, Eagle drumsticks, my man. Crystal Ball Fans FC, Mr. K says, big yourself up. Sean Snow says, Eagles more open than the can of whoop-ass City put on Arsenal. Who else have we got here? We've got Tottenham Tantrum. Big up Tottenham Tantrum. Says, hey guys, big up both of you. In the last 5 years against Crystal Palace in the Premier League, we have a record of 3 wins and 2 draws against Palace. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Jack Flatcaps. And come on, you Spurs. Big up Tottenham Tantrum.
Big up,
Dark Sun G was hoping to see you here, my man. I'll read this first and then we do have an update for you. So he says, guys, hopefully a 3-0 win later today. Gill 1 goal if he starts. If not, Reggie, Deli and Højbjerg 1 from a free kick. Any updates on the watch-along? Well, look, we actually do have an update on the watch-along. So, look, me and Jack will actually be doing a watch-along tomorrow for the Crystal Palace game. We will only be kicking it off about 15 minutes before kick-off. Of course, I am over on the pre-match pump-up on We Are Tottenham TV at 11. So we will be starting about 11:45, 10 or 12:15, 20 past 12. So if any of you want to come and join in, look, it's not going to be anything mad professional. It's just to play, just Spurs fans where, like, probably myself and Jack and we'll just chill out and watch the game, really, Jack.
No, I think it's just going to be nice and relaxed, nice and chill. But I mean, of course, obviously, the way we might be talking about, the game or the players might not be as chill and relaxed as you might think. But exactly what David is saying, it's not going to be nearly as, maybe professional as we're used to or anything. But it is just going to be, if you need to watch it with David and I, if you need kind of that confidence or just, need that hype from David and I, definitely head on over to us tomorrow. We'll be bright and early. For me, it's going to be bright and early Eastern time. So I might have to find something, wake me up in the morning, maybe drink that winter's coffee, David. But definitely everybody who wants to check out the watch along with just David and I, we're just going to be vibing out, watching the game, watching us eat some Eagles drumsticks. So if you're interested in joining us, please do.
No, I do. It's definitely going to be some good vibes, that's for sure. Midday vibes, it's going to be wavy. We're going to be winning as well. So tune in. It's going to be good fun, definitely. Good, big up Keith Hicks, by the way. He says, what's up, lads? I hope you're keeping well. Chris is in the building as well. Big up, Chris. Hope things are good with you. We have Ricky V at THFC. Buenas evening, chaps. Big yourself up, Ricky. I hope things are good. Aaron Dove is also in the building. Big up, Aaron Dove. Hope things are well, my man. We have Luke Cooper. We have Brian C. Big up, Brian C. Good to see you, my man. He says, everywhere we go. Brian, hope things are good with you, my man. Let me know what your thoughts on the Ireland games were over the international break. And look, get your score prediction in. I want to hear your score prediction, my man, for tomorrow's game. Big up, Brian. Good to see you, my man. I hope things are good. Am Singh is in the building. One of Jack's loyal followers. Big up, Am Singh. We have Paro Miguel Escobardo. Hello, the Harris Army. Big up, Paro. Another one of Jack's loyal followers as well, and the Harris Army. Shamu Van Spurs. Big up, Shamu. I hope things are keeping well, my man.
We just want to give a shout out quickly. Sorry, Dave. I know I'm interrupting you, but Ribsy85, Paro Miguel Escobardo, and Catman Jess, honestly, really do appreciate you all. I'll say it a million times. You really are absolute legends. Really do appreciate the support you guys give our second channel, Flatcap Euro Talk, but as well, just always appreciate you guys showing up for the Harris Army, showing up for the Flatcap Army. Ribsy85, Paro Miguel Escobardo, and Catman Jess, true legends.
No, they really are. Big yourselves up. Adrian, big yourself up. I hope things are well. Brian Dagans in the building. Big up, Brian. I hope you're keeping well. Premier Hotspur TV, Hugo, Emerson, Tanganga, Dyer, Reggie, Hoiberg, Endombele, Deli, Gil, Kane, and Lucas. Yeah. Big up, Simon. I hope things are good with you,
as well, Simon.
Aidan Doherty says, hi, guys. Big up, Aidan. Hope you're keeping well. We have Ben Santos. Big up, boys. I hope you're keeping well, Ben. We have Killian Kenny. There's your annual shout-out, Killian. There's the annual shout-out. Who else have we got here? Let's see. We have ATM Nerd. Says, let's see how Anderson says plays since he was one of our heavy transfer targets before Paratici came. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I actually think Harry Kane should actually stick on him tomorrow. I think that's very good.
You know what? I'd love Brian Hill to just start tomorrow and just show him how to play football, basically.
No, 100%. Couldn't agree more. Big up, Zoe. Good evening. I hope things are well. Okay. We do have Warren feeling in. Says 9 a.m. Saturday morning, New Zealand. Great job, fellas. Big yourself up. Hope things are well over there, Warren. Hope you're good. We have a good New Zealand contingent in here. We have William McKenzie. We also have Shamu there, and there's a few others. So we have a good New Zealand contingent. Mr. House says hello, everyone. Big up, Mr. House. We have Old Soul 53. We have ATX 7 Gaming.
Yes.
Everyone, big yourselves up. We have David. Big up, David. Greatest name on planet Earth. Says big up, Dave, Jack, and Danny. Kickoff will be 4:30 a.m. here in California. But I'm ready. Let's get those 3 points. Kane brace incoming. Yeah, that's an early one. I'm not going to lie, that's an early one, but I've no doubt you'll do the stint. So let me know when you go to bed and get up, or you just stay up and have a few drinks and then just.
I've been there, David. Believe me. What I'll tell David is, growing up in Seattle, that's what I had to deal with. And, I'm kind of glad that those days are behind me. I do admit, being on New York time now, Dave, it's just it's a blessing. The difference between 4:30 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. is a big difference. I'll tell you that. It's a big difference. So, David, all I can tell you is, the Seattle days, as much as I miss Seattle, glad to be here in New York where, the timing's a bit kinder to me.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Big up, David. Love the commitment. We have Shidley Ifem Davey says, I think we should play 3-4-3 with Ali and Hoiberg in midfield. Yeah, that's not a bad option, my man. Not a bad option. We have Rowan Kumar says, big ups with the Flat Cap Euro Talk, Jack. Looking forward to follow you now as the European competitions are really kicking off there.
Champions League kicking off, Rowan. Champions League is kicking off, Mr. Kumar. So definitely please stick in with us. And David and I are going to have my Champions League group predictions, that we're going to be coming out with Monday. And then also there are going to be a few watch alongs for some of the big Champions League games as well. So everybody just, stay tuned for Flat Cap Euro Talk. Now the Champions League is, waking up. It's going to be very, very hectic over there.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is. I can't wait. There's going to be some good watch-alongs, definitely. The Smasher says, yo, big up the Smasher. Hope things are well. Keeping an eye over for the next. This guy is from Norway, isn't he? It's Norway, yeah. I think. Denmark, Norway. He's keeping an eye out for the next Haaland for us. We have a man, the top heavy in the building, Matthew Collins, THFC as well. Matthew. And then we have Dark Sung G with the super chat. Big up, Dark Sung G. He says, it's on this channel or match channel. Also, hopefully, Kane can get 3 assists later. I hope to see Royal and Roden in the starting 11. Well, Jack, what's your thoughts? First of all, sorry, Dark Sun G, it's on this channel here, the Irish Hotspur, my man.
This one, Dark Sun G, you don't have to go anywhere else, Dark Sun G. You don't have to go anywhere else. Just wake up. Or I think it's actually a really nice one for him, Dave. It's that 8:30 p.m., I think what he said. So, Dark Sun G, I know you said you're not going to be eating too much before, but hopefully you just have a few, those nice Korean, draft beers maybe in front of you, and as well just warming up with a bit of that pre-match pump up over at David at Weird Time TV, and then slide on over here to the Irish Hotspur, Dark Sun G. No other place to go than to watch it with David and I for sure. And also, yeah, I would love to see Kane get maybe some assists, pop up, dropping deep, ping one in behind for maybe Brian Hill to get that debut goal as well. And I would like to see Emerson Royale and Rodon in the starting 11. Rodon, yeah, it's. I would like to see him personally, but I don't think he's fit. He didn't play for Wales, which probably suggests that, they're either not risking him for that injury or it's just, he's still trying to recover. But definitely Dark Sun G. I would love to see Emerson Royale. He's going to be in my starting 11. He's in my predicted 11. And as well, Dark Sun G. I'll say it again. No other place to go than to the watch along tomorrow with us.
Nah, big up Dark Sun G. Hope to have you tuning in, my man. I really do. And the rest of you, the Harris Army out there. I want everyone tuning in tomorrow for the watch along. Look, make sure you do, guys. Make sure you do smash that like button. Let's get over 150, 200 likes before we end off today. That would be very nice. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you're new, guys. The big push to 5K is on. And also, why not? Look, if you're like me, you do get hungry. You do get impatient. Sometimes you can pay a little extra to the waiter to get served first. So if you feel like it, why not drop in a super chat if the chat hots up? And, sometimes it can go crazy. Sometimes it's quiet. When it's going crazy, get them in. Even when it's quiet, it's just a great way to support myself and Jack. Big up, Dark Sung G. Really appreciate it, my man. But look, let's get into it. Look, lads, Tottenham are back. The international bore fest of international football is over. Look, it's back. We're top of the league. Arsenal bottom of the league, of course. The strongest team in it, holding everybody else up. Absolutely love it. Sitting rock bottom. All Dwayne Johnson right there, rock bottom. Absolutely love it. And look, it kicks off, an important run of London derbies. Palace, Chelsea, Arsenal, guys. But look, I'm going to tell everyone what they need to know, and then we'll get into it. So look, guys, everything you need to know, of course, we are away at Selhurst Park. It is a 12:30 p.m. kickoff. John Moss is the man in the middle, so if anything goes wrong, he's the one to give the hate to. You can watch the game on BT Sports 1. You can actually, do you know what? I'm better than BT Sports. So come over to We Are Tottenham TV on the pre-match pump up, where I'll get everybody pumped up. I'll be getting guests on. I'm sure Danny and Jack will be on as well. And getting everyone's thoughts on the lead up to the game. And we'll get everybody pumped up. That starts at 11 a.m. tomorrow. So all you early risers, get on it. Make sure you come over and check it out. But I want to see you on it as well. Big yourselves up. And then, of course, come back here for the watch along at 12:15 p.m. I can't wait for this. It's going to be the first one for a Spurs game. Let's see if it's any good. Let's see if the people take it. Let's see if they like it. And let's take it from there. But look, let's get on to it. Spurs team news, guys. Sessegnon is out with a hamstring injury. An update on Son. Well, not really much of an update, but Nuno's words were not so well. Let's wait for the club to make a statement and explain what is happening. So I don't know whether you can take that as he's out for a little while. Whether he's just miraculously going to play tomorrow. I don't know what to make of that, or whether it's mind games. And of course, Skip, I'm predicting he will be back. I know Dan Kilpatrick during the week reported that he will be back. And of course, Spurs put out pictures and videos, and he was training. So I take it that he probably will play tomorrow, guys. And of course, Romero, Lo Celso, and Sanchez, quick update on them. You know, they will be back the day before the Chelsea game, which is not ideal, but they will be back the day before the Chelsea game. So look, for Palace, the team news is that, of course, Eberechi Eze, absolute baller. He is out tomorrow. He is out with an Achilles. They don't know when he's going to be back. And young Nathan Ferguson, the fullback, he's also out with an Achilles injury as well. But look, Jack, with Sanchez and Romero, of course, both out, would you play Joe Rodon with Dyer and keep Tanganga at right back, where of course he has actually been playing so well, richest man in London, as we know? Or would you push Tanganga into right back and push him into right back to play with Dyer?
I'd probably, to be honest, Dave, I wouldn't start Joe Rodon this game, as much as that seems like, the option most people would want to go with. I think with Joe Rodon, it's just a bit of a risk. You might consider he hasn't had really any, pre-match, or any games, for friendlies. He hasn't really had much time to really integrate himself at all, to maybe just be thrown into the Prem like this. Of course, he did it last season and, performed quite well. But, if he were to be thrown into this situation where a lot of players ahead of him are going to be wanting a spot, I will say, I think we should just give it to Tanganga. We even described in the predicted lineup today, David, as well, Emerson and Reguilon, despite Emerson maybe being, a bit more obviously attacking than Tanganga, Emerson is still plenty defensively capable. He's actually more known for his defensive capabilities and his ability than he is for his, ability to go forward. So I would say it's actually going to be a bit more frustrating for Patrick Vieira to pick which side he should put Zaha on, because if we're playing Emerson and Reguilon, you do consider then he can't just say, well, that means I'm putting Zaha on Reguilon's side. He's going to have to pick, which one am I going to have to let's say have that fullback, because Zaha is not going to track back. He's going to be sitting right next to the striker. So if we have two attacking fullbacks in the likes of Emerson and Reguilon, you might say that actually could be a better option than maybe Tanganga, in my opinion, just because we know Tanganga is not going to venture forward as much. This is another game where a lot have said, we need to challenge for possession. We need to challenge in the midfield, and we need to dominate the game. We need to dictate the tempo, all those kinds of good things. And with Tanganga at right back, I don't think that's as possible as with maybe someone like Emerson playing right back. So me personally, Dave, I'm going to go Tanganga at right-sided center back. I'm going to go Emerson at right back, and I am going to leave Joe Rodon out.
No, look, very good reasoning why. Very, very well explained, Jack, I have to say. Danny, same question to you, man. Do you play Rodon or do you move Tanganga in? Or do you keep Tanganga in his position where he has been playing so well?
I agree with what Jack was basically saying. I think Rodon, I know he was training. When he came back from the Wales camp, he was training. He has been in full training, which is a good thing. But I don't think he's ready to play a full Premier League game anyway, to start at least. So I think and also, I think because of obviously Sanchez and Romero both not being available, I think your best option, well, your only option kind of really is going to be to play Tanganga as centre back, because we ain't got anyone else. So he's going to have to partner Dyer. And I think that's kind of left him with no choice, which is, it can be a blessing in disguise, because I think a lot of us probably would have wanted to see what Emerson is like. And I think what Jack was saying, just to touch on it, there's certain teams where I think you can dominate the ball and you want to attack the ball, you want to attack the players, right? You want to press these players, and you want to go at them. You don't want to sit back or play a bit more on the fence a little bit more counter-attacking. So someone like Crystal Palace, you expect Tottenham to really dominate this match. Like, whether or not I know it's going to be a hard match, but you'd expect us to have more of the ball, more chances, and things like that. So it'd be good to see what Emerson, and it's a chance for a lot of players, right? So you've got Brian Hill. It's going to be a good chance for him, but let's get on to after. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent here, man. Anyway, Emerson, I'm just really happy to see Emerson start, and it's a good chance for Tanganga to show that he wants to be the centre back, right? Because that's what he wants, right? He said he'll play anywhere, but he wants to be centre back. So I think it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because these players have now got a very good opportunity to kind of cement themselves in, or to give the manager a second thought, like, well, actually, maybe I should play these guys in their positions. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes tomorrow. I think everyone's excited, man.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Tottenham Tantrum says David is Batman, Jack is Robin, and Danny is Alfred. Absolutely love it, Darren. Big yourself up. I hope you're having a good day, man. Absolutely.
I honestly, I would feel like weirdly, despite, maybe me, showing up alongside David, as his partner in crime, I admit, I kind of feel a bit more like Alfred, and maybe Danny might be a bit more kind of the handsome, Robin, with the muscles, goes to the gym more than I do anyways, David, Danny does. So it kind of make more sense that I'd be more the Alfred role. But maybe just on the panels, it kind of makes sense that I'm maybe more like
Jack,
Robin.
You're definitely more Alfred in terms of the brain side of things, because Alfred's very smart. And
well, maybe I'd be like Mr. Fox then.
You,
maybe I'd be Mr. Fox. I'd like to be Mr. Fox. That'd be great. But yeah, absolutely, Dermot. That's way too kind. Way too kind. David, how's it feel to be Batman?
Nah, fantastic. Look, I want to be the one sending out the bat signal, so I'm absolutely delighted. Big up there. I'm glad I'm the main man. I like being the main man, to be honest with you. The leader of the pack. I like that. Good, big up, Dermot. You made my day, my man. You made my day. Look, for me, when it comes to Tanganga, look, I do think maybe Emerson was brought in to be our starting right back, with a view of pushing Tanganga into centre back eventually this season. Of course, with Doherty being the backup for Emerson. So look, with Roden, I just think the fact that he didn't play during the week, he usually starts for Wales. He didn't play during the week after meeting up with them. It's kind of like where is his fitness up to right now? So for me, I do think it'll be too soon. I agree with Jack and Danny, and I would be playing Tanganga at centre back alongside Dyer tomorrow, especially because we need his aggression. Look, he's going to be up against the big man Benteke. If not, you also have the other big man Edouard. The two of them, it could be the two of them. So you need. For me, what I would be doing is I'd probably be getting, Dyer to go and compete with the headers and getting Tanganga, if it is just one of them up top, and getting Tanganga to drop a little bit to kind of sweep up in behind, anything going in behind. And he'll also have the pace if Zaha tries to sneak in behind, and the aggression to just put another 50, 60, 80 mil they want for him? So another 80 mil into his arse pocket, into his wallet. So, it'll be absolutely brilliant to see. So, look, no, I would go with Tanganga with Dyer. But look,
what do you make of this comment, Dave? Just a question for the host here. What do you make of this comment from Ricky Villa? I mean, you saw a bit of Doherty. Do you feel like with Doherty, the way, he had a lot of, game time, he had a lot of minutes, with Ireland. Do you feel like that automatically gives him, the nod, for the upcoming game?
I know David was saying as well that he actually, considering he actually had a decent international break as well. He wasn't a bad one.
He wasn't the worst. Yeah, he wasn't the worst of the Irish.
Do you know what, right? He had a good international break. He wasn't the worst, but he still does things that really do annoy me. It's like, short responsibility, passing the ball inside, passing it to, putting other people under pressure when he shouldn't, or, just giving the ball straight back to the opposition rather than just, grab your cojones, say, look, I'm going to skin you, go on the outside and make something happen. He does the same thing every time, and he's just, look, he did have a good international break, but that's our Ireland standards. We have to remember that we're at the minute, we're just in a rebuilding phase, trying to bring in through a load of youngsters and stuff like that, So, look, Premier League is a different animal, different level altogether. And I could see if Nuno does want to throw him in, but look, I think if Nuno fancied him, I don't think we would have spent 30 million on Emerson, to be honest with you. So, look, the fact that we did spend 30 million on Emerson, I think you might see him. But Ricky, I'm not discounting you. I was look, me and Jack.
What about the back five, Dave?
If we did go with 3 centre backs and two wing backs, look, for me, it's still going to be between Emerson and Doherty in the wing back position. So I would be playing Emerson over Doherty. That's just my preference. One thing I will say is Doherty actually did play better at left wing back for Ireland, believe it or not. He was actually better at left wing back for some reason. But no, look, I'm at the point now. Look, Doherty let me down. He was given another chance again in the first leg against Pacas de Ferreira. He let me down. He keeps letting me down. So I just want to give Emerson the chance. Let's see what he can do. That's where I'm at now, to be honest with it. We have a super chat here from Nick Lazier. Aaron Dove says, harsh David, Doherty was our best player, Balbazunu. I don't know. I thought Josh Cullen had a very good international break. I thought Omawaba Bemdele, or however you pronounce it, I thought he had a very good international break. Gavin Bazunu, I think, was our best player. I wouldn't say Doherty was up there now, Aaron. That's my opinion, though.
Do you guys think that Doherty could actually start tomorrow? Do you think he could
back five, yeah. If it's a back three. Yeah. I think if it's a back 3, back 5, and David even shouted it out in our predicted lineup today. Everybody who hasn't seen our predicted lineup, please check it out. But David did shout out the back 3, back 5. And with that back 3, back 5, I think David was saying it would be like a left-sided center back of Davies, maybe Eric Dyer in the middle, and then Tanganga on the right side at center back. That could mean then Doherty would play the right-sided fullback, right wing back position, which suits Doherty as well. So that would be the way that if Doherty were to feature, I think that would be the best way to use him. That's where I would see Nuno using him, David.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Lazier says, big up, lads. Looking forward to the bounce along between you guys and Bob Spur tomorrow. I'm worried about Dele getting his pocket picked by Gallagher. Yeah. The guy is industrious. I'll be honest. I watched him. He's good. He's two-footed. He's industrious, but he's good on the ball too. He can make things happen. He is a very good player. He's tidy. The only thing I don't know about maybe Dele getting his pocket picked by him. But what I would say is Dele tracking his runs into the box. That's what I'd be more concerned about tomorrow, Nick. Because look, this guy does arrive late in the box. He's good with both feet. He scored 2 goals against West Ham doing the exact same thing. He nearly got one, I think it was against Brentford, doing the exact same thing as well. So, it's a good point as well. Look, we know Dele can be sloppy on the ball, so he could easily get his pocket picked 100%. And I appreciate you bouncing in and out tomorrow, Nick. I really do. I look forward to it. Jack, anything you want to say to Nick?
Nick, hope you're keeping well this Friday evening. As well, though, Nick, I would say with Gallagher, he has the most pressures, I think, for Palace and the attacking third. I think he even, if I remember David correctly, he had the most tackles as well for Palace players as well. Has the most pressures, has the most tackles. There's some other defensive character or statistic that he also let in for Palace. So you definitely could be right that he could be picking up the pocket of some of our players. If it were to be anybody, probably would be Dele. If we were, starting Mr. No Name, Mr. Shall Not Be Named, definitely would be him. But I would just say Dele, he's been immense for us defensively. He still, though, is our most dispossessed player. And that probably will continue to be the case until he kind of learns from these mistakes that you're talking about, Nick. And I do really hope that he kind of eliminates that from his game, because the amount of times he does get dispossessed sometimes is very frustrating. But Nick, as always, hope you're keeping well. Hope you're enjoying your Friday, my guy. And then as well, Dele Alli, I think he's going to be our key player. I have all my faith behind Dele. I want him to be that creative Dele that we're looking for. The defensive Dele is always needed, but we don't need it as much this game. So definitely would like to see the best Dele possible.
No, 100%. And look, what you were saying there, look, I do hope Dele cops on a bit with it, because sooner or later it will cost us, and I just fear it could be in one of the bigger games. We could be punished by it. So I do agree with you. He does need to kind of brush up in that area 100%. Look, we're all saying we would start Emerson Royale tomorrow, guys. But do you think maybe it is a bit too soon just to thrust him in for his debut? Or do you think, look, it's a sink or swim situation regardless, and, he has to make his debut at some stage, or just throw him in and hope for the best? What do you think? We'll start with you, Jack.
It could definitely be a bit soon, David. It could definitely be a bit soon. But if you were to say that Crystal Palace, this is going to be the right test for him, though. Like, Crystal Palace are a team that he should be able to handle. It's not like he should, be the best player on the pitch or anything, but he should simply be able to handle this, considering the season he had last season with Real Betis. I feel like this is the right kind of test for him. The only thing I would give him as like a bit of a break, or, maybe a bit of a hesitancy would just be that he hasn't been around the squad very much. And as even Nuno said, he's still even learning English at the moment. And Lucas and Nuno and probably Moon Boots are some of the only people he can really, properly communicate with on a tactical level, maybe on the field, right? So that's just a bit of a concern for me. I would like to see him, though, still feature, David. I think you're right that it is a bit of a concern that he's only been with the club for so long. I mean, he's not even really been as much in the training. He's been more doing the photos and, kind of the TikToks and stuff for Spurs, really, So I would say he's looking great in the cameras. He's looking great on photo. He has a good smile, David. He has a good dental plan, looks like, as well. But all I can say is I would like to see him feature, but you might be right. Might be a bit too soon. But if you're going to say that Crystal Palace is too much of a test or too hard of a test for him, I would disagree with that. But the only thing I could say is it could be a bit too soon, just because he only got off the plane, just a week ago, practically.
No, I'd agree with that. Danny, do you think that we should just throw him in tomorrow, especially with Chelsea and Arsenal coming up? He could be a real asset if he can hit the ground running. Something different for them to think about down that right-hand side might help out with the creativity. Or do you think, like Jack was saying, that maybe it could be a bit too soon, but you want to see him anyway?
Yeah, I think I kind of agree again. Like, I think it is. You could look at it from that point of view, right? It where it's for me, the biggest thing, like Jack said, is maybe the language barrier. Maybe he, like, if people shouting things at him. But then again, look, football is a universal language, right? I mean, if you can't understand how to play football, then you shouldn't be a footballer. Do you know what I mean? So like, for me, I think this is a guy who's come from one of the biggest teams on the planet in history, and this is a guy who they put in a £300 million buyout clause into his contract, but had to sell him because they couldn't afford to keep him. So they obviously really, really rated him very highly. Of course, he's going to be raw, but again, I think Palace is a good team to do it. They haven't got Eze playing, they haven't got Ferguson playing, which is good. And I think people are not going to know how he plays, so maybe that's what you want in a game, especially when you've got, if Brian Hill starts with someone like him, they're going to have people from the left side and the right side who they've never played against before, so they've got no idea what these players can do or what they and that in itself is going to be interesting to see, because I mean, just for little training bits and what we've seen of Emerson before, the guy likes to attack, man. He likes to bomb forward, and he's strong and he's quick. So I would chuck him in, to be honest with you, because I think if you don't chuck him in this game, you have to play him against Brents, right? Because then Chelsea it will either be Emerson again, or it'll probably be Tanganga, because Tanganga is very solid there, depending on if Romero and Sanchez and Dyer, Sanchez and come back in time, basically, and if they're ready to play against Chelsea, which I don't know if they are. So yeah, I think you have to chuck him in, because you've got to try and get them as many minutes as you can, really. And I think it's, personally, I would pick Emerson over Doherty.
No, 100%. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And look, you were just mentioning Chelsea there. I was just thinking, I'm relishing seeing Tanganga just pocket teeny weeny. You know what I mean? I really am. That honestly, that's that. It wouldn't surprise me if, they tried to get the game called off, or, if they were trying to get it passed in Parliament to make that illegal, because, honestly, you know what he's going to do. You know what he's going to do. He's just going to pick him up, put him in his pocket, walk out straight onto the team bus, sit there, good boy. Okay, I'm playing cards with the lads, go and make me tea, and then we'll drop you off back at Stamford Bridge tomorrow. How's that? You know what I mean?
Dave,
I can't wait for it.
Do you know what? I think I hope that Dyer and Sanchez, Sanchez and Romero, one of them is available for the Chelsea game, because I really want to see Tanganga on the right-hand side as a right back again in that game, purely because you're coming up against the best team in Europe, right? And you want to have everything possible to stop them playing their game. And I think Tanganga is the aggressive person you need on that right-sided position, because I think someone like Emerson, he might not understand the magnitude, or might not understand kind of what Chelsea are like, and put him in a game like that. If he gets roasted, that is a bad thing for his confidence. Whereas Tanganga, he's going to give you a decent performance, like whether or not it's going to be amazing. And also, he can do a very good job against the big teams, as he proven against all the big teams he's played when he's played right back or left back.
Yeah. No, I agree. Look, I bet you Wilfred Zaha's in the dressing room right now pleading with Vieira. He's down there shining the shoes. Please, I'll do anything. Just put me on Reguilón side. I can't deal with Jaffet. Please, I'm begging you, Honestly, I bet you. Vieira's probably sitting there crying, looking at him like, why are you doing this to me? I can't wait. They're all in meltdown over there. I can't wait for this game tomorrow. I'm really pumped. But look, guys, Skip is back in training. It's all, you've seen videos, pictures, everything else. It does look like that he is going to play. But Jack, on the off chance he still might be carrying a bit of that groin injury, who do you put in? Endon Burgers or Harry Stinks?
Dave, I mean, you're just asking me all the wrong questions here. I'm only going to go with Don Burgers here. Even if he could play 10 minutes, Dave, I'm going to go with Don Burgers, and I would then put Harry Winks in for the rest of the 80 minutes. How many minutes I get out of Tangi is, I would think about that as just, fewer minutes that Harry Winks gets to play.
Yeah,
so that's how I would think about it. So as well, we've said this a million times, and I think we should say it a million times more. A lot of people seem to be very, kind of concerned about our ability to dominate games, our ability to dictate the tempo, maybe even dominate the other team with the ball, dominate in the midfield. You might say that this is the opportunity for some, even though Skip, I think, has been absolute sauce in the middle. He's been, pinging them all over the field, switching the ball like Hotspur has. I mean, when Hotspur had whatever it was, like 9 switches of play, I was actually expecting Skippy to be almost right behind him, considering the game that he also had against Watford. He was also just dealing and wheeling all the passes through the midfield. But you do consider that with Crystal Palace, it is going to be a tough test, but at the same time, I would like to see maybe Hojbjerg actually playing CDM, Dave, and then it's going to be a kind of a midfield box-to-box kind of combination of Dele Alli and Tangi.
The only way you're getting Tangi box to box is if there's a selection box either side, Jack. I can tell you that. That's for sure.
You have to put the smell of burgers on each side, Dave, because the smell of burgers will get them running. They'll get them running to the other side. But definitely, Dave. And as well, with Tangi, even if he only plays 55 minutes, 60 minutes, that's enough for me. I think he'd probably be able to do more than Harry Winks would in those 55, 60 minutes.
No, look, just put a burger on where the telly zip, the cameras zip up and down. That's where you're definitely getting box to box.
It's just also, it's an insult to Hojbjerg. It's an insult to Hojbjerg personally. As I love Hojbjerg even more than I love, Tangi. I definitely love Hojbjerg more than I love Tangi, I would say. And so it pains me to see Hojbjerg be played along somebody like Stinks. So that's the other reason as well. I would just much rather Hojbjerg just be by himself, do what he did last season, play the role of two different people and just let, Harry Winks just kind of watch from the sidelines. It's honestly more ideal for me, better for my heart rate as well, Dave.
He could just be the ball boy, man. He should just go back to being a ball boy.
Do you know
it's
what?
Better for our health.
You know what, Jack? You can imagine Hojbjerg, driving home after every game last season singing "All by myself." You know what I mean? Honestly, you can imagine it. Poor guy. I'd say he's turning around, high-fiving Skip right now. I'd say the two of them sleep in bunk beds and everything. But Pierre and Skip, we have a nice, double king-size bed for each of you. We have a room each. No, get bunk beds in. We're like stepbrothers. I'd say he's absolutely loving life with Skippy. That's for sure.
Too much room for two-footed tackles, Dave. So much room for two-footed tackles. So much room for activities.
No, 100%, lad. I'd say, they'd like just lay some Astro down there or lay a son of turf down there, and the two of them practicing their slide tackles. They might even, when the Olympics summer, Jack, they were getting the long jump with the slide tackle in at the end. Absolutely loving life. But Danny, a good comment here from Premier Hotspur TV, and I'll give this one to you to answer. Says this is the problem with this club. We buy players, then play 10 games, and then play them 10 games later. And same with Hill. The only way they get better is to give them starts and game time. I fully agree, Simon. But Danny, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I fully agree. I think this is the time. This is that I say about why I said it could be a blessing in disguise, because this is now the chance that a lot of these players can actually are kind of in a way forced to be played, but it could be to our benefit because, like Simon said, I think this is when you need to show, you need to step up as well and show I can be in this team. You've got a lot of hungry youngsters there, right? You've got, if Skippy starts, you've got someone who really wants to be in that team. You've got Emerson, who's new. The way he's talked, the way he's kind of been sort of shown is that he really wants to give it his all for this club, and I think and Brian Hill as well. I think these are the players who seem to have no fear. They really want to do well. So I'd rather have them there any day than people like who just don't really want to put 110% in. And I think any of these young players who come into the Premier League, you need to give them time and as much time as possible, right? So yeah, there's no better time to start them than now. And I think it puts a lot of, I wouldn't say pressure on them, but it gives them a lot of responsibility. And maybe some of these players, like, say, Hill, he likes that responsibility. So he might thrive off that.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's a good point. And Simon calls him End on Gascoigne as well.
I saw that on Twitter the other day and I started creasing when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, Undom Gascoigne, Jesus.
No, it was good. It was good. Dark Sun G with the super chat says, wouldn't Nuno use the youths rather than easy pass? Jack, look, take it away. This is your speciality. Look, I know when we looked into it, he has a good record of using youths. I can't remember the number now, but I seen it when he was from Wolves, and I said to Jack, says, this can't be true. And Jack was like, yeah, it's true. So Jack, tell him, he does love youngsters. And not in a sick way.
Even today, Dave, I was looking at actually, the old notes from, when you gave me all those grilling tough questions about Nuno. I mean, you probably put me more under the cosh about Nuno than anybody would have ever. Really, I felt like, I knew everything about Nuno, what side of the bed he slept on to, what time, he takes the dog out for a walk, every morning. Really, I felt like I knew everything about him. And then I will say, I was just looking over those notes today, David, and I actually titled them even Nuno sexual notes. So I will say, honestly, the research that was there, I am quite proud of myself. And I will share that information maybe one day on Twitter, maybe here. And just Dark Sun G, if I can remember correctly, Nuno is absolutely in tune with his youth academy. He even at times sends them like they even have like some type of pager system, Dave, or some type of like old text system where all the players, all the youth players, I think they arrive something like 30 minutes, 40 minutes early at Wolves, for training in the gym. And during that period, they're all waiting apparently for that call up to train up with the first team. Every single time with Wolves, with Nuno, he's always sending somebody up from the youth academy to train with the first team. It's not like it's some charity thing, Dave. It's not like it's some cameo. It's really his faith in the youth to be able to deliver the same things that he expects from the first team. So maybe
can I add to that?
Yeah, I was just going to say and finish. I was going to say, it's not like, the youth is going to be able to deliver the same world-class, ability that, some of our first team players will. But if you think about it, it is somebody that is able to at least instigate or instill that mentality, organization, defensive output, even probably fitness that obviously we've seen from Nuno. At least we know we're going to get those things out of the players. And Nuno, if we need somebody to do a job that, hasn't honestly featured in the squad at all, I have full faith in Nuno being able to do it, especially with the youth, Dark Tangi.
No, 100%. Yeah, Danny, I'll let you add to it. Just give me 1 second on that.
Go for it.
Just quickly, look, Jack was saying about the research and stuff. Just give me an idea. Look, maybe we can post, the research that Jack has done and all into it for you guys, put it into a nice, Nuno fact file for you, and post the questions as well, and maybe put it up in the community section in this channel if anyone wants to read it. And it'd be a good insight to see, the research and the extent that we do go to behind the scenes. It'll be a good insight for all you guys as well. So maybe we could get that out there, maybe, Jack. Maybe that's a good
technically
idea.
Share it really quickly right now, Dave, but I don't want to, I really don't want to, distract from anything. But yeah, it'd be something in the future just to show the Harris Army, show them, where, maybe some of this Nuno research has come from. Even some of this Nuno optimism, delusion has even come from, Dave.
No, 100%. Look, maybe we might show a little sneak peek maybe at the end, maybe. We'll see. But Danny, what did you want to add onto what Jack has said on that?
Well, it's kind of onto the general conversation of what Dark Tangi was saying about and what we've seen this week from one of the players who's kind of been introduced into first team training, and that's Iago Santiago. Iago Santiago. Now he's a central midfielder by trade, right? So I think we're going to see him play at some point this season. Now, I don't know if he'll be on the bench tomorrow. There could be a big chance he might even be on the bench tomorrow, just because the Celso's not there, and
just to be there, yeah.
Just to be there, yeah. Just because obviously it gives them a sense of something. Like when you're putting them on the bench, it knows like, okay, you're working towards something now. Like he's had trust in you to put you on the bench. So, what do you think? Do you think we're going to see minutes from him this season?
I think we should, just considering like even last season, obviously Wolves had, I would say, worse injury crisis than even Liverpool did. But David, showed me these stats on how many youth players they played. It was something like, David, wasn't it? It was like 14 to 17 or something like debuts for like youth academy players, like 14 separate debuts. And David was wondering, he was like, is this just because of injuries, or something? And it's like, really, I would only say like 20% of that had to do with injuries. It really just had to do with Nuno did not see it as being necessary to invest a ton in the transfer market. He didn't see it as necessary to maybe rush somebody back from injury or anything like that. He just felt like, the players that he'd been building, even the youth academy he'd been building there, David, he had full faith in it. And he also had full faith in some of the players in that academy, especially. There are tons of people that got debuts. And as well, when we do think about Wolves' academy, it's a lot better than other teams around their size as well. So we do have to take that into consideration. And even one of those youth academy coaches, Dave, we even recruited over here. I think his name was Antonio Diaz or something like that as well. So honestly, very. Yeah, I think we got their fitness coach or something like that. That's why even our players. But that guy Antonio Diaz, he also had a huge role with the youth as well. Like he also, kept the youth academy very much responsible for their own fitness. So it just shows like Nuno has had more or less a lot of opportunities to be able to, maybe build or take what he took from Wolves in terms of just the system, the institutions, and bring it over to Spurs. Kind of like Poch.
Yeah,
100%. Danny, did I get your thoughts on Ndombele or Winksy tomorrow?
No, he didn't actually, but I mean, my thoughts on this. I don't ever want to see Winks in a Spurs shirt again. I've said it time and time again. I don't care what anyone says. I have it on Twitter. People come and argue against it. And I always state my reasons. So I know some people probably do it for a bit of fun as well. But Winks, should not play for Tottenham Hotspurs. He should not play for them. He is not good enough. He knows as soon as he leaves, his career is done. He's never going to play for a Champions League club again. He's never going to get anywhere near that competition again because he knows he's not good enough. He's he's Tom Carroll in disguise. This guy is a lightweight midfielder. He has no effort, no determination, no drive. He's lazy. He doesn't run. He sideways pass. He doesn't try the effective forward pass. The odd occasion, right? And someone said to me on Twitter, "Oh, what if he scores? What if he scores a goal or has an assist?" And do you know what I said to them? I said he should be giving 90% every time he goes on that field, right? If he plays one game, well done. He's done his job. He got his money's worth for 1 week, right? He has to do this over 38 games and cup games and fucking Europe, right? For the whole season. Not one game. I don't want to see fucking Winks do good for one game. I want to see him do good for the whole fucking season. I'm fed up of these people who keep saying, "Oh, Winks is good." Winks is not good. He is rubbish. He is not a good player. My dad, right? He used to play like he could have done.
But he looked great in those.
Right?
He looked great in the training videos, Danny. He looked great in the training videos. His touch looked good.
That made me sick. That made me sick. That training video, just because the way he was talking, as if he was like some big bollocks. Like he was like, "Oh, I'm Harry Winks, big bollocks. I'm the best at touches, mate. You're shit. You got nothing else going for you. You're not a professional footballer. I don't know how you're playing for Spurs." Honestly, the guy, he's just a joke. Like, do you remember against Dave when you said it right? You called it before the Packers-Ferreira game where we lost 1-0. You said, "Watch Harry Winks. If he starts, he's going to get absolutely dominated." And what happened? It was his error that led towards the error, the defensive mistake that cost the goal. It was his mistake because he lost the ball in midfield because he's shit. That is why. And he will get absolutely eaten alive if he starts against Conor Gallagher tomorrow. Conor Gallagher will look like a prime Zidane against him. And then if someone turns around to me and if he starts and he has a good game, I'll say, "All right, well done. He had one good game." He's getting paid 30, 40 grand a week. He should be doing that every single game. Look at Hotspur, right? He's someone who puts dedication to it. And even if he doesn't play well sometimes, 90% of the season or 85% of the season, he's going to put in a top performance because he's a professional and he wants to play well for Tottenham. And that's the difference. Yeah. And Ndombele over Winks every single day.
100%. Jan first is what do you call Ndombele? Burger Dembele? No, Ronald McDombele. And he also did say about belittling players. He says, "Imagine belittling your own players, especially internationals in a foreign country." Look, take out internationals in a foreign country. At the end of the day, they're footballers. We're all human beings. At the end of the day, I get it. There's a move there, but at the end of the day, if you're paid to do a job and you're not doing it, well, then expect to get criticism.
You know what, Dave? I want to say, right? I'm sorry, but these players are highly paid athletes. Right? They are highly paid. Please remember, they're paid more than doctors who save lives. Right? They are highly paid. If they don't put in 100%, then they shouldn't be playing for top teams who are trying to compete at the top level.
I also don't see my doctor twice a week for 9 months of the year as well. You also, we see these players twice a week, 9 months of the year as well. Like, honestly, I would say some people's tolerance for some of them, I actually admire, because if I could put up with something like that for that long, it just shows, these people can put up with a lot. But I think David, especially, Danny, especially, more than even me, are just absolutely sick of it. And they just can't put up with another 9 months of, excuses for these kinds of players.
I can live with the fact, if Winks puts in 100% every game, like Hotspur does, and he tries things. It's the fact that you see him even in pre-season. Like this is when you want to show your manager in pre-season, right, that I'm here to be in this team. He was doing the most laziest things I've ever seen. I mean, come on, any person.
Danny, he nuts himself. He nuts himself.
This is the thing. Skip. He wants to be in that team. He's got passion, that man. He will give his heart and soul for that team. Winks, he doesn't do that no more, man. He's done. His Tottenham career is finished.
I'm just telling people now, right? Winks is, look, I'm going to try and do it without supposedly belittling him, right? So, right, with Harry Winks, Danny, right, the problem is the guy, right? He doesn't like physicality, right? That's why he always takes the ball with his back to goal. Never on the half turn, which is why he doesn't play forward, because he can't open up the pitch. I've explained all this before, right? And then so he's always left with playing backwards and sideways because he's afraid. The reason why he doesn't take the ball on the half turn is because he doesn't want the physical contact, right? It's that simple. Now, the reason why he's not robust and doesn't get stuck in is because he doesn't like the physical contact. Yeah. The reason why anytime I was going to call him a kid, he's not, he's 24, 25, but the reason why, every time Winks plays and has a bad game is because people need to wake up. He's being targeted. They're saying as soon as that guy gets the ball, get on him, press him. You're going to win it, right? And then teams are also setting up and saying, okay, don't press the fullbacks, let them have it. Just block the passes up the wing and into the middle. Make them play it to Harry Winks. And then again, as soon as he gets it, boom, press. I've seen so many teams do it to us time and time again when he plays. And at the end of the day, look, that's not on us fans. That's on him. He's the one out on the pitch that can put all this right. He's the one that's paid, whatever it is, every week to do it in training, right? He's paid to actually train to do what he's doing. Yeah. And then to go out and execute and perform. And he may be doing the training, but he's not going out and executing and performing. So what is he doing during the week? Why is he not in the gym bulking up? Why is Dane Scarlett, a 17-year-old kid, taking it upon himself to bulk up? And it's not something he's been told to do because Jack Clark hasn't done it. Troy Parrott hasn't done it. He's took it upon himself to do it. Now, why isn't Harry Winks taking it upon himself to do that? I don't want the guy to fail at Tottenham. I actually want every player to come here and come through the youth academy to be a success. But, if it's not going to register with the guy, then why do we all keep making excuses? And, look, the thing is, some people are going to say, oh, surely he's good enough to play against Crystal Palace. But he's not. Yeah. Every time he plays, teams target him. Pacos de Ferreira done it. Yeah. Now, if a team that finished fifth in the Portuguese league is doing it, well, come on. You look at the scout, you look at the video analysis of teams nowadays, the people they employ to check over everything, they find the weak links. But Harry Winks is one of those ones. It's just glaringly obvious on the eye. As soon as he gets the ball, take it. The reason why he can't even play forward is because he can't run with the ball, because straight away he's going to be bullied off it. I don't know how many times last season I've seen him get on the ball. We're on a bit of a break. You're right, let's play it quick. Off we go. And I've literally seen him slow it down, let everyone get behind the ball, and then pass it 5 yards. And I mean, I'm pulling my hair out. Pulling my hair out. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then he's standing there like, where's the movement? Where's the runs? How can I play it forward? Everyone's back. It's like, because you ran as slow as my granny. You know what I mean? That's why. And look, when it comes to Ndombele, right, the guy is taking taking 200 grand a week out of the club, right? Actually, sorry, take the super chat first there, Jacko.
No. Dark Sun G saying, and he's only going to add further, evidence to David's argument here. And he's going to say, why Easy Pass doesn't get injured? It's because he does nothing on the field. Exactly. He doesn't run. He doesn't show fight. And he goes MIA.
Spot on.
Youths show fight. And I would say absolutely youth show fight. And that's what maybe I was touching on. I think Nuno even knows that, because we even shot, from that Sheffield United. I still remember that image from that, whatever that Sheffield United kid was. They were already well and relegated, Sheffield United last season. Whoever that youth player that they put in at striker, he scored that goal in like the first 15 minutes or something. And the sheer elation that he was showing, just for scoring in that moment, absolutely showed why in certain moments you do play the youth, because they are going to definitely show that passion, and that passion can go a lot further than you think it can. It can go a lot further than you think it can. It can be the difference between getting in behind, shouldering your man off the ball, whatever it may be, just that bit of passion, that bit of grit, that bit of anger even, and all those things we know that Easy Pass absolutely doesn't have, Dark Sun G.
Look, what I will say is, I was speaking about this way before Jamie Carragher done it. I think he was watching me, but he done an expose on Harry Winks when he shows for the ball. And I said this loads of time. He's not actually showing for the ball. He doesn't want it. He's pretending. Jamie Carragher put out a big expose on it, showing it. You know what I mean? That is, and even when he has time to turn and drive out, he won't do it. Then he showed clips of other midfielders that are doing it. Look, the guy is just not good enough at this level. I get it. He's a Tottenham boy. He loves the club and everything else. But look, let's just cut the crap. You can't play him in these games. If Pacos de Ferreira targeting him, Kouyaté, McArthur, and what's the kid's name?
Gallagher, yeah.
Kouyaté, he's just going to put red sauce on him and eat him.
Dave, do you know what? Right, for me with him, it's just the thing I can't stand the most is when a player who claims to be yes, all right, he grew up as a Tottenham fan, right? But if he was a Tottenham fan, right, if that was me or you on the pitch or someone like Skip, right, okay, in Winks' early days, he was that fighter, right? But what the problem with Winks is that he let it go and he's never bothered to get it back because he doesn't care enough to get it back. And I'm sorry, but people need to understand this is a guy, when Jose Mourinho is in charge, he came out saying, I want to be in the England squad. How can you say that when you're not even performing? You're not even performing in your football, in your first team. You're not even in the first team, and you're saying, I need to play because I want to play for England. Are you having a laugh, mate? Like, put the fucking effort in, right? Put the effort in for the badge, and then if you get the performances on how or you have the performances that you'd expect to have, all right, then you might have a chance of getting in the England squad. It's not going to be given to you on a plate. I can't stand it when people say this about Winks, man.
The worst thing that could have happened to this guy was getting into the England squad.
Oh yeah.
He got the England call up. He does it. He's completely forgotten about what do I need to improve?
Where he came from?
He's what, 24, 25? He's been he must be sitting there analysing his season and going, well, I've only got into these last couple of seasons because there has been injuries. But how have I performed?
But you know what, Dave?
How can I get better and how can I get into the team? Is that right? He's sitting there pleading Jose for game time, right? But why not sit back and maybe hire a sports scientist around the house, or I don't know, but hire somebody and just say, right, analyze my game, tell me where I need to improve, or come and tune in here and I'll do it for free.
Yeah,
go
exactly.
To the gym.
Can I ask you a question, Dave? Right?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Right? What's funny about this Winks situation, right, is I've never seen Winks ever come out after having a bad season saying, "I know I haven't done well. This is what I need to do to improve. I'm gonna show a bit more fight next season." Right, Dele Alli is a prime example.
Yeah, he's at least done it. Maybe
at least he's done it. Right, at least he's come out and said he knows that he's performed bad. Right, he knows he needs to do better. Okay, fair enough. He hasn't done it for the last 2 seasons. He's done it in patches where it's been odd games where he showed it again, but he hasn't done it consistently. Now he's got his fitness up. Now he's starting to get in the team again. Now he's starting to show a little bit more of the old Dele Alli, and hopefully we can see him back to where he's best. And I really hope we do, because a top Dele Alli is one of the best players in the league.
Yeah,
like best young players in the league, right? And but with Winks, I have never seen him come out once and say, I haven't had a good season. Do you know what, David? He talks, when he talks, right? If you listen to his interviews, he talks as if he thinks like he's like the best thing. Like he does nothing wrong. He's like the perfect player. Like he's always does everything right. I'm sorry, the guy does nothing right. Nothing right.
No. I just want to say a big up Dark Sunji for the super chat, my man.
Big up Dark Sunji.
Everyone else, feel free to get the super chats in. It is a great way to support me and Jack, and it does help to skip the queue of the chat when it is hopping like it is right now. And we will get straight to it. Just last thing on Winks. Look, this was a guy that when asked in the second leg, Winks, you actually had a good game today. And the second leg against Pacos de Ferreira. Oh yeah, man. Sure, that's because I'm playing with better players. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh my God, the excuses are flowing out of the guy. Yeah. It's just sickening. But look,
it shows the mentality of him, right?
I just want to move on to Endon Bell. I'm giving Winks way too much airtime.
Yeah,
there was a comment there. Here it is. Why is Endon Bell responsible for still being at Tottenham if he wanted to leave? I don't get it. Right, I'm going to tell you why he's responsible. He came in out of shape, right? Couldn't get on the pitch under Pochettino. Had to get Jose Mourinho to come and run around an apartment block with him to try and get him on the pitch. And even then was still only half fit. Right, I get it. Mason didn't drop him, but Mason dropped him for the cup final and everything else because of what he's been doing previous. Okay, and then you look at Nuno. Nuno ousted him from the squad. He didn't want him to be anywhere around it. And then only Endon Bell started sulking, saying, "I want to go," because he wasn't getting any minutes, preseason and stuff like that. At the end of the day, the reason why he's still here and the reason why he actually is responsible for it is because he's been out of shape since he's got here. Okay, he's in shape now, but it's 2 years too late. This guy came in for a big fee. He's also took in 200 grand a week over them 52 weeks every year. So that's 104 weeks on 200K a week. Add that up. That's probably another couple of million right there. The guy is rinsing our club. That's why he's responsible. And the reason why he can't get a move is because he can't get a game at Tottenham because he's coming out of shape. Now, I'm sorry, but that's not on Tottenham. They provide fitness coaches. They provide a gym. They provide nutritionists. They provide chefs. They provide everything you need to be able to keep your body in shape and get in shape to give the best on the pitch. Now, if he's not availing of all of that, again, that's on him. That's on nobody else. That's on him. And that's why he's stuck at the club, and that's why he can't get a move. And he probably won't get a move until maybe he gets in a couple of cup games coming up to Christmas, and the team might take a gamble on him. But look, it's up to him. He is responsible for still being here because he's done fuck all while he's been here, apart from be unfit.
Well said, David. Absolutely well said.
But look, moving on. Some of these midfielders are annoying me. Look, of course, looks like Son is out. No update on Bergwijn, of course, guys. Spurs have put out a few pictures of course, Gil Messi, David Silva, of course, in training. It kind of all looks like, they're putting the pictures out there, everyone getting all, it's like getting your first kiss at the disco when you're underage. You're getting all nervous and goosebumpy, and, you get the feeling in your stomach, and Gil's going to play tomorrow. It does look like he is going to play. I for one, am so excited to see him. I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. A lot of people are saying, look, this guy is, we need to just, give him a slow introduction into it. I'm not expecting much out of this season. I'll be honest with you, strap your socks in because he's going to blow your socks off. He's going to absolutely rock the socks. I'm telling you, this guy, I think, is going to be brilliant. But Jack, do you expect to see him start tomorrow?
I do expect to see him start simply because Bergwijn had that practically behemoth or just massive, ice pack on his ankle. It was the size of his head, as I said today, David. And so maybe that just has to do with that ankle injury that he had in the past. And it's just part of that routine of, always icing after every feature or every game. But for me, I think this is just meant for Brian Silva. And Brian Silva, with him coming into the squad, I just feel like he can add something that maybe Harry Kane needs, David, because we saw in that Pastos game, Brian Hill, he's able to take it down the byline with his left foot easily and just cross it into the box on the floor to his feet perfectly. There were so many times when even Harry Kane, the way he received the ball, you almost seemed surprised how accurately it came to his foot even. And also as well with Brian Hill, I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but he doesn't always, just put it into the air when he's putting a ball into the box. He actually picks out the player that he's giving it to. He puts it on the floor. He puts it on the carpet, which I really also enjoy. I think that takes a lot of skill. I think that takes a lot of intelligence as well. But then again, we also saw him drift into the midfield. We saw him move around a lot. We saw him be able to pressure players and give tons of pressing. He's almost like a mosquito, the way he was pressing, the other team the whole time. He just wouldn't stop running. It felt like he wouldn't stop running. And then again, if he was able to move into the midfield, I see him being able to handle himself there. He has plenty of techers, to get by somebody. He also, I feel like, again, with Harry Kane and him, they just seem to just have so much chemistry with each other, the way they were playing off of each other. I really am excited. And so that's why I would play Brian Hill, just simply from what I saw. Again, it was only Pastos de Ferreira. I recognize that it was only Pastos de Ferreira, but the chemistry between Hill and Harry Kane, in my opinion, that game, they were the best two up top. So if we're going to take that as a basis, then absolutely play Brian Hill, because it just seems like Harry Kane and him are just absolutely synchronizing.
No, 100%. And Jack, look, do you think, a lot of people are saying, probably blaming Dele Alli for the lack of creativity. Whereas I would more be looking at our wingers. They're not really creating much at all from out there unless Son is playing. Do you think that Gil could probably solve that problem tomorrow? That, we could see a lot more creativity from him. And what do you expect to see from him tomorrow, Jack?
I think he definitely could offer something different. Obviously, Sonny creates lots of goals with his own goal-scoring ability. Also, with his set piece delivery, he creates lots of goals, David. But maybe the difference might be is just Sonny. He is definitely a goal scorer at heart. He has that bit of that selfishness in him sometimes. When he goes up in front of goal, which is my favorite part about Sonny. I will admit, that's what a striker's instinct is to know that you need to score. Don't need to rely on others to score for you, which Steven Bergwijn definitely does a lot of. So with Brian Hill, I just feel like he's going to be able to provide a bit of, I don't know, it's just like spark, kind of ingenuity, genius, even you might say, in that midfield. And again, of course, lots of people have said, he's going to be playing on the left side as a left-footed winger. But we saw in that Pastos game, he was practically playing almost like, a number 10, playing in the midfield. Sure, defensively, when we were setting up defensively, he would move out wide, pressure the players out wide, pressure the fullbacks out there. But when receiving the ball, David, he received it so many times in the middle of the park. like right in dead center, and then would turn and to see where Harry Kane was, would turn to see where Lucas was. And so if you think about that, that's what would be different, I would say, from Son. Son is not going to maybe move into the center of the park like that and try to find Harry Kane. Son is going to try to get in behind the defense. Son is going to try to set himself up for one-on-ones with his fullback. And this is something that I feel like might be different with Bryan Hill. Bryan Hill is just simply going to try to be that creative, genius, that creative master in the midfield, that David Silva, as we've been saying. And that might be the big difference between him and Sonny. As well, though, he also offers a bit of pace, of course. He can definitely get in behind, maybe not as well as probably Sonny can, but definitely has enough pace to do it. And again, I would say his ability to just get the ball into the box, put a beautiful ball into the box as well, is honestly quite impressive for someone his age. And that's what I would say be the big difference.
Yeah, no, 100%. Very interesting, Jack. Very good analysis there, I have to say. And don't forget, we have Gil Messi for Bryan Hill. Don't forget, we have Son Aldo for Son. Who else have we got? We've got Pierre-Emile Brickhouse for Højbjerg. So we do have a lot of positive ones too, for the ones that deserve it. That's what I will say.
Højbjerg for me. It's Højbjerg for me.
Yeah. Look, that's what I'm saying. Don't just focus on the negatives. We have a lot of positive ones too, that's for sure. But Danny, look, same question to you. Do you think that Hill will play tomorrow? And what are you expecting from the guy? And can he maybe solve our creative problem?
Yeah, I do expect him to play tomorrow. I think you've got no kind of option really. If Berg finds injured as well and Son's injured, you have to play him. If you don't play him, I'd be kind of really intrigued to see what Nuno is going to do, to be honest. Unless, I think he is going to go 4-3-3, unless he does play with like a 4-3-2-1 and or I don't know. He could do something completely different. I doubt it, but I think he is going to go 4-3-3, and I think it's going to be very fun to watch Hill if he shows kind of what he's shown us so far. Which for me, the best thing about his game is his fearlessness. He just doesn't fear anything.
If it were like a back 3, back 5, Danny, would it be still a 3-man midfield, or would it still be kind of Lucas, Harry, and Hill up top, or maybe one of those up top might have to be dropped?
What could happen if he was playing 2 up top and 3 in the midfield? He could do like and 2 wing backs, right? So say he goes 3 at the back, 2 wing backs. He could play like a Dele Alli and a Højbjerg in the middle, and then Hill just in front of them, right?
And then Lucas and maybe Harry up top.
And Lucas and Harry came up top. He could do that. And he could go for like the 3 at the back. So he might even go Tanganga right centre back. He might go Dyer in the middle. He might even play Rodon or Ben Davis at left centre back. He might go Ben Davis left centre back, and then he'll play Reguilon as the left wing back, Emerson as right wing back, and in the middle Højbjerg and Dele Alli. That would be interesting as well to see, because I think that would be quite threatening, because I think Hill he does like to roam around a lot. I think he hasn't got his tactical sense, in the sense of when he's off the ball. Like when I say when I say that, I mean when they're not attacking, he kind of when Tottenham are not attacking, or the team he's playing on not attacking, he roams around quite a bit. So he's kind of like a free roam player. But he obviously, if Nuno likes to be very tactically aware and what's going on, when he is attacking, the guy's runs and his positioning is phenomenal. Like, he's very clever with his runs. And yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see him in that formation. But if he is going to play what I think everyone expects to play, was that 4-3-3, him as like your kind of traditional kind of left winger, left-footed, running at players, going on the outside, beating a man and whipping it in. And I think I'm intrigued to see how he does with Kane, because I think, like Jack said, you started to see something there already. Do you know what it is? It's players with intelligence, right? When you've got players who are intelligent. I was watching an interview with Dimitar Berbatov yesterday, again, to Talk Sport this week, right? And honestly, I watched his like a YouTube reel of him again, right? And I just remember the guy is just pure class, right? His intelligence for the footballing game, he's a genius, right? His footballing brain is phenomenal. And I see someone like Hill potentially being that kind of like genius player, like a Modric was, like a David Silva was. They're just 2 steps ahead of everyone else. Like they know Yeah, they're just unique because they know where to be before anyone else is be. They know where to position themselves. They know where the player's going to be. They all like when someone like Brian Hill, right? He looks up, right? He's looked up before he's even started running, and as he's running, he looks up, and about 3 seconds later, then he's crossing the ball in 3 or 4 seconds later, and in that 3 or 4 seconds later, he knows exactly what he's going to do. So that's why he's so.
Even the way he sizes up his, the other things I forgot, even the way he sizes up his defender, it's like he's about to eat them for lunch, you know, as well as like Steven Bergwijn. I've never seen him do that. I mean, I don't like to be rating on the players here, but Steven Bergwijn, sometimes you see these moments when he has perfect opportunities to skin his man. He's one-on-one with his player, and he seems to, can't be asked. He just can't be asked, to skin by. You see Brian Hill in those situations. Brian Hill is taking those really small touches right at him, making it he's going to have to make him step. It's night and day. I hate to say this. It sometimes is night and day. And again, we've only seen so much of Brian Hill, so I'm absolutely exaggerating. Maybe this is a bit of a pre-match pump up, just for me to hype up Brian Hill. But that's all I can say is Brian Hill, you can see the difference. You can see the difference.
But what we've seen of him is that he can stand up against his man, like face him face to face, and he'll just beat him straight away. Like he could stand there, and his acceleration to go past someone, he'll like, see you later, mate. He'll be like, what? He was just literally standing still, and Brian Hill's gone. But
you know what?
I just want to say one thing. I'm just going to have to defend Bergwijn a little bit for this season because he started to do it this season a lot more. He started to do it. It's a start for him. Obviously, Brian Hill, I think, is a more intelligent player, and that's where the footballing brain is. I think that's where he's going to be. I think Brian Hill's going to succeed more than say Bergwijn.
That's where he'll surpass him.
Yeah. Look, I think he will.
With Brian Hill, I actually look. I see shades of Luka Modric in him when he first came to Tottenham. Luka Modric did play in that sort of further up the field, and what he was very good at doing is with Luka Modric, he's like standing still waiting to receive the ball, but then all of a sudden he drops his shoulder and he's gone.
Yeah,
and it's impossible. Even when players are pressing him, he was always used to do that, and Brian Hill can do that as well. He's very impressive against Pacos de Ferreira, and I'd even say one of our better players in the first leg as well. He's just so intelligent. Even the runs he makes, he's always causing himself a nuisance no matter where he is on the pitch. But he has a good engine. Yeah. At one stage in the Pacos game, he made a run, didn't come. He went offside. We gave the ball away. He came back and ended up coming back and winning the ball back and putting pressure on. And I like to see that from the kid. He has a lot of energy and a lot of legs. But when he's on the ball, he's close control, Danny. It's when he's running at you, because he's constantly moving and he's shimmying, you don't know whether he's going to go left, you don't know whether he's going to go right. And because he's constantly touching the ball and has it at his feet, like with Bergwijn, he's a bit of a different player. He likes to knock the ball ahead.
Yes.
And run onto it. With Brian Hill, he likes the ball glued to his feet.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's taking multiple touches. So as soon as you go to come in like that, he can just go left or right. But if you're Bergwijn and you're playing it a bit ahead of yourself every time and sprinting after it, it's very easy if a good defender just to come in and time his tackle, just wait for him to take that touch and take the tackle. But with Brian Hill, it's very, very hard to do that because like that, you just put your leg out or you make one movement, he's gone. He's gone.
You know what? Brian Hill is like, that game with the ball, where it's got the string attached to you and you stick it on your foot and you kick it away like to practice that. That's what Brian Hill's like with the ball at his feet. It's like he'll knock it a little bit, but the ball is just glued to him, right? And like you said, it's that low center of gravity which he's got where he can just drop his shoulder and he makes it look like he's so rapid, but he's not. He just knows what he's doing.
Yeah, no, he does. Look, you can't buy that sort of thing. You can because we bought them. But the thing is, you're either born with that sort of low center of gravity and the ball stuck to your feet or you're not. It's not something you can work on. Look, the likes of Bergwijn, I wouldn't say he was born, with that sort of gift. He's more of a player. You knock the ball on, he sprints after. Brian Hill, like I said, is glued to his feet. A bit like of a Lionel Messi stature sort of thing. I know that's probably overhyping him. But I really rate this guy. Honestly, as you can tell, I'm super excited. I know a lot about this guy. I've analysed his movements closely, and look, I even love the little hairdo he has going on. It's funny. It's kind of like you don't take him seriously, and then he's just this footballing genius. He's brilliant.
Even today, David, quickly, the missus, I was showing, some of the graphics, from Stats with Jack. She liked, some of the images, you and I created, Dave. And one of them with Brian Hill, she just thought like, wow, that guy looks like, and I said, he's 19. She goes like, that looks a little old for him. she really thought he looked like some 16-year-old kid right off of the high school or something that just got lost or something. Really, he is brilliant. He seems to love football so much, Dave. Probably doesn't even care about what he looks like, kind of player. Probably doesn't even buy any of the jewelry. No, he's probably like Holland or something like that. He's just working out, just trying to figure out what boots he can save up money for, maybe just, gonna figure out what sponsor he can get for the ice packs and things like that. That's what he cares about.
I would even go as far as saying he has a superpower, and not many footballers possess it. I'd say Modric, Messi, maybe Cristiano Ronaldo, I'd say, and Brian Hill, is where when everyone's speeding in around the box, in his head, it's all in slow motion. Yeah. He's quicker than everybody else, but in his head, it's all in slow motion, and he can see everything. Trust me, I think this guy's going to be a very, very shrewd signing. It reminds me a lot of Luka Modric. Luka Modric came in. Everyone laughed, stature, size. This guy's not going to cut it in the Premier League. After the first training session, Robbie Keane, came out and, he was saying after the first training session, they were all saying, look, this guy's going to rip the Premier League apart. And look, that's what he ended up doing.
Well, Dave, if you look, he is the closest player, what you could probably compare him to in a lot of ways is David Silva, because Silva, he started out as a winger at Valencia when he was there, right? So he was a right winger. That's where he played a bit of left wing as well, but he then moved across to the right wing. And when he went to Man City, that's where he started, and he would cut inside and he would score these amazing goals with his left foot. And then as he kind of grew into it and Man City kind of got their team a lot better and more in depth, then he moved more centrally, and that's where he became even and elevated his game sort of thing. And I think that's where Nuno's kind of said that's why they're trying to find where they think he's best positioned. And I think
future Cam.
I think long term, I think he's going to be our Cam. I think long term, but for now, I think while he's young, while he's kind of energetic, he's got all this energy, all this fire in him. He can sort of press, run up and down the field. I think he'll be a winger for the next couple of years, and then I think you're going to see a lot of good
I could see that happening 100%. But Jack, remember I said it to you when I first seen him, I was like, this guy's going to be a centre attacking midfielder. So as soon as it happens, Jack, he needs to be praising me. I want to say big up, Jiminy, new channel member. It's good to have you on board, my man. I hope things are good with you as well, my man. And fan shows every Monday at 9:30. I want to see you on, my man. I want to see you on it. We have a super chat here from William Kelly. Says Hill will be a legend. He has got the temperament and class. Look, exactly. Look, the thing is with Ndombele, right? He had do you know what's so frustrating about him? Because at the flip of a coin, he could just dominate a game, right? But he doesn't have the temperament. Whereas Gil looks like he has the temperament and class. So look, I couldn't agree more with this. What do you think, Jack?
I just based off, the hair, the kind of even just his own kind of like boyishness and kind of almost kind of naivete, you might say, even innocence, you would say. It just seems like he's somebody, Dave, that just can't get enough of football. Again, we're totally overhyping this guy, but I don't think it's overhype of his ability. Might just be kind of reading too much into what little we've seen, right? What little we've seen, we might be overanalyzing, but I think all of the hype and talent that we've kind of said about this guy is totally warranted and is totally true. It's just more like maybe with Tangi, it just seems like Brian Hill might just be someone that, again, David, is just maybe not as distracted by things outside of football. I think Tangi still plenty likes football. It's just maybe that's what's happened is it's either the big wages have gotten to him, possibly, the really nice, cheap fast food in London has gotten to him as well. It's all there are a million possibilities that maybe have gotten him distracted from maybe his main goal, which is football. But in Brian Hill, it does seem like he's a guy that just all he cares about and all he thinks about and all he dreams about is just what type of way he can help out Harry Kane, what type of way, he can create something for the team, how many players he'll be skinning the next day, all those good things, David.
No, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Look, I see some people saying, respect Ndombele and Winks. Look, I can see where you're coming from.
This is all coming from the biggest Tangi apologist in the world as well. So I will say, everybody, it pains me to say this stuff. It really does pain me, and David knows that.
No, look, what I will say is look, I get it, but look, these are all nicknames. I had good nicknames for them, and then when they play bad, I give them bad nicknames. It's just the way I am. They let me down so much and hurt me, cut me so deep. But look, I do get what you're saying. If you want me to start criticizing their football opinion or their ability, no problem. But I'm still going to give them nicknames regardless. So big up yourselves. But I can see what you're saying. But at the end of the day, it's all a bit of banter and it's a bit of fun. That's all it is. Don't be taking it so personal. It's not me that let you down. It's Winks and Ndombele. William Kelly says, the difference between Ndombele and Hill is Hill wants to be always involved in the game, whereas Ndombele goes missing. That is a good point, to be fair. That is a good point. Look, last year, from what I seen with Ndombele, giving the ball, perfect. Without the ball, doesn't really fancy it. Danny, what's your opinions here?
What on this?
Do you feel like does Hill make a better effort? I guess I would just quickly say, I feel like a lot of good players can go missing. Any good player can go missing in games. But I think maybe just what he's saying, Danny, here is Hill might make more of an effort to get back into the game, reinstigate himself into the game than maybe Tangi would, is what he's saying.
I think you got to understand as well, right? There's a massive difference between the two players because Hill, he hasn't been put on the map the way Ndombele was put on the map, because Ndombele was bossing Man City in the Champions League for Lyon. That's the game that put him on the map. But in that season, Lyon were unbelievable team, right? And they were all really good players. A lot of the players in that team were very good, and he was obviously one of the standout performers. So he caught the attention of everyone. And when you're someone, he was obviously 22 at the time, I think it was, when we bought him.
Yeah.
So he was 2 years older than Hill, right? So he's so what you got to compare is he's 2 years old. He was 2 years older than Hill, and we bought him before the price went up even more. From if other big clubs got involved, we kind of got him straight away because we thought, okay, we've got a player there because he had all the talent in the world. But again, look, Ndombele, I think it's a lot. It's the money as well. It's the money side of things. He's had a lot of he had the injuries his first season. He wasn't fit. Then the second season, now the only thing with Ndombele is that he's had a very good second season compared to his first season. If you compare it, what he did, he lost weight. He came back. After Jose and him had arguments, he then said, "No, I want to be in this team." He stepped up a level, right? I'll give him that. Okay,
he's thanking him and whipping him and saying thank you.
But I'm trying to, Dave. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to give you the facts. The facts are that he did play better than he did in his first season. Okay, it's not to the level you want or what we expect.
200 grand's worth.
Yeah, I know, Dave. But the thing is, you have to put everything into perspective in reality, and the reality is that was the situation that we were in with him. Right? Was he still was he still wasn't getting his fitness up. Now, obviously, we've spoken about this. Everyone's fitness was an issue last season, and yes, he should do more because he's obviously 20. He was 23 last season, 24 now. And he should be doing a lot better because he's one of the highest earners in the club. He's got all the talent in the world and he doesn't want to do it for himself. But that's because down to him, in his mind, he doesn't probably care as much as, say, someone like Brian Hill. Now,
I don't care what's going on in his mind, though. At the end of the day,
yeah, of course,
he's getting paid and what he's producing. Højbjerg doesn't have that excuse.
No, he doesn't. But what I'm saying is,
that excuse.
The thing is, he thinks he can get away with it, and that's where the mental problem is, Dave. He thinks that his talent can get him away from the other side of the game. And we've seen it with so many players in the past, right? Who've got Adel Tarap. He was a player. He had talent, the guy, but his mentality was shocking. It was diabolical, right? And a lot of players, Ravel Morrison, he had talent. Not saying the same talent as Ndombele, but if we go back to like the Man United era when he was there, right? Even the managers at the time, and I think it was Ferguson.
Even why people didn't want to take Saint Maximin. The reason why people didn't want to take Saint Maximin. The reason why Saint Maximin isn't playing for a team like us or even a higher quality club is just simply because of the attitude. And everybody knows Saint Maximin is totally capable of the skills. David, maybe just to answer William Kelly's question, what do you feel like? I think all he's saying, Dave, is Tangi would make less of an effort, right, to get himself back into the game, into the flow of things. Do you feel like that's true more than Hill?
Yeah, I do. Look, with Hill, he's constantly dropping into spaces where he received the ball. He's constantly looking to get on the ball, and if he does not on the ball, he's working off the ball to go and get the ball. So it is when you look at that side of the game, you have to say he is doing a lot more to get involved in the game than what Ndombele is doing. That's for sure.
It's the mentality, isn't it? He wants it more. He wants it a lot more. And
just a few more super chats to get to there, Danny. Sorry, my man. Big up William Kelly. Really appreciate the support.
Big up William Kelly. Real legend.
Yeah, he is a legend. I hope you're enjoying yourself over in Oz as well, man. Is it sunny over there today? Let me know. Oh, no, you're in your winter, actually, aren't you? I think you're in your winter over there. Tottenham Tantrum says, Gil reminds me of young Glenn Hoddle. He has the talent to become one of the world's best. Tomorrow, I see a Tottenham win 4-0 to Spurs, Kane 3, and Hill with 1. Dermot, I'm absolutely loving it, my man.
Loving that.
Loving the confidence. Look, Jack, what do you think? 4-0? Are you as optimistic?
Yeah, maybe a hat trick of assists for Hill and then just a hat trick for Harry. So I might go 3-0 Dermot. I love the 4-0. A 4-0 sounds absolutely lovely. Maybe even making up for all those 1-0s from before, right? And then we come in with a 4-0 just to make up for all the missed chances that everybody's been kind of complaining about being 1-0s. But yeah, Hill, I would love to see him just combined with Harry. I'm going to say Dermot. I'm going to see Hill get 3 assists, and they're all going to be for Harry. And Harry's going to grab his hat trick, start off the campaign well, and just get back into the swing of things. I think there's no better person to feed the dawn than Brian Hill, David, for me.
No, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Look, I'm expecting.
Is he a young Glenn Hoddle, Brian Hill? I mean, that may be very different players, but possibly in the superpowers. Maybe like you're saying, they both have their superpowers.
More like Chris Waddle, more like.
Nah, we'll stick with Luka Modric. I think Luka Modric is the best one. He had the hair and everything as well. But look, I can see where he's getting at with the Glenn Hoddle comparison. Movement, eye for a pass and stuff like that. So yeah, look, good observation, Dermot. And look, I'm expecting a big game from Kane and Gill tomorrow. I think Kane enjoyed his game with Gill in the Pacos de Ferreira game. All he had to do was make little runs. Hill would find him, and I think he's going to enjoy it again tomorrow. I think I'm expecting a big game from him. But look, I want to welcome Brian Ireland's in the stream, Timman007. We have James Hunter there as well. All the people that are after joining in, big yourselves up. We have a super chat here from Jiminy. A big up, Jiminy. I hope things are well. Look, Jiminy, if you want to watch the game tomorrow, we are doing one here. We're putting it on for the Dark Song G. He's been pestering us all week for it, so we're delivering for him. So if you want to tune in as well tomorrow, along with the rest of the Harris Army, D-Trex Kane is there, Aaron Dove, Mr. K, Sean Snow, Luca, and everyone else's names that we have mentioned before. I'm seeing the whole lot, Dan Anthony, the whole lot. If you just want to watch Tottenham versus Palace tomorrow, we will be doing a watch along here. But Jiminy says, people keep saying don't call him names, etc. But being fit is literally Ndombele's job. All he has to do is be fit and play well. Yeah, he's missing one of those. This is fair judgment from fans.
Whoa, Jiminy, Jimmy, the way you just broke that down is actually interesting, because that even combines actually what Sean Snow was saying. Sean Snow said something about, as much as, people were saying, we're being too harsh on Tangi, the big difference is we're practically only talking about Tangi's attitude. We're talking about Tangi's fitness. It never really has ever been that much of a criticism of Tangi's ability or even any of the games he has. Even when Tangi has a bad game, it's really not a bad game in comparison to the rest. It's not like he's giving up the ball in bad spaces, not like he's turning it over or anything. Maybe he might not, be into it as much as other players, but simply I agree with Sean. It's not really like Tangi's ever had a horrible game ever. And when you consider it that way, that means he already is doing the harder thing right, which is being a good footballer. That's the hardest thing to be able to do. No one can really just, it's much easier said than done. The fitness part is easier. It's definitely easy to do. The fitness part is easy. Being paid $200,000 a week to stay in shape. You couldn't ask me. You wouldn't have to ask me more than once, believe me. It'd be too easy. It'd be too easy.
If I get paid $200,000 a week to train. Jeez, I wouldn't leave the training lodge, mate.
I would be looking like Hulk Hogan. That's what I would say, at $200,000 a week. But all I would say before David gets in here, Jiminy, is I think you really broke this down well, Jiminy. I think you did break this down well, because everything about maybe some of the, the nicknames in terms of fitness have been a bit harsh, but it all has to do with fitness. It has nothing to do with the way he's played, because the way he's played every time, regardless of fitness, has always been good.
Yeah, look, Jiminy, mic drop moment. I'm sure you should be walking out the door, close the door, and then come back in, listen to what we have to say. Absolutely brilliant comment. Broke it down to perfection, I have to say, my man. Look, at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but they're taking $200,000 a week. They're putting themselves in the public eye. Take the criticism that comes on your performances. You're paid enough to do it. If you don't want the criticism, use that as motivation. Get into the training complex. Work your fucking arse off. And then when you get your opportunity to present it back to you again, get in there and work your nuts off again. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not criticising him really too much on his footballing ability. Footballing ability, I think he has a great touch. I think he has a great eye for a pass. I think he if he was playing week in, week out, would be our best passer on the team. Look, I think he has a very good shot on him. He scored some goals for Tottenham, even though he's not being fit, really, 100%. But what I will say is look, at the end of the day, we're disappointed in him. Like, we all know he has this ability that he could just run a game single-handedly. He has that ability. Now, I'm sorry, but we're paying top dollar to this kid every week. Now, to get that ability out of him. Now produce it. That's all I want. I'm sick of players coming in here. And I was right on what I was saying all along with all this click and all this carry on in the dressing room. I seen it when I seen cricket videos coming out. I'm sitting there, we're losing, we should be training. You know, I seen it all. I could predict it coming. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, you know, Sissoko, Warrior, and Ndombele, apparently they're a problem. Sissoko and Warrior are gone. You know, Ndombele is stuck here, even though he wanted out. And then he wanted out because, I didn't get a minute preseason and my friends are leaving. Horse crap, couldn't care. We're paying you 200 grand a week. 200 grand a week to get out there and produce the goods. Now, I'm sorry, but if that's not enough, you're not going to get it anywhere else. You know what I mean? Any higher from here. At the end of the day, it's just disappointment towards the guy. It's what it is. But as well, I'm sick of these people just abusing the club. I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and lick their hole if they don't deserve it. I'll do it to Harry Kane. I'll do it to Højbjerg. I'll do it to people that actually deserve it, who put in the graft. You know, I don't see Højbjerg making them excuses for himself. He's not here much longer than Ndombele. I think he came here after Ndombele. I don't hear him making excuses. You know, people could say, 3-4 different managers, whatever else. Højbjerg's gone through the same. Harry Kane's gone through the same recently. Son's gone through the same recently. They still perform every week. At the end of the day, 200 grand a week is more than enough for this guy to be producing. And that's just the way I feel on it. That's it.
Definitely. And Jiminy, I really love that. Like David had said, you absolutely dropped the mic. Probably, I would say, the super chat of the night, just with, sheer logic. Even Socrates would be proud of that logic. I would say, Jiminy, absolutely proud of it. And again, Jiminy, really hope you're keeping well. Really hope you're keeping well, and hope you can join us for the watch along tomorrow. Absolute legend, Jiminy. And again, I'll say it again. I do hope you're keeping well down under.
Yeah, 100%. Big up, Jiminy, coming in with the super chat, dropping fireworks, a bit like what Fazzy done last week. You know, big up, Jiminy. Absolutely love it. Leighton Evelyn says, Gill is going to be a new superstar. Watch. Spurs produce Modric, Bale. He is Spain under 21 captain. David, brother, this kid is going to be special. Look, Leighton, all I've been doing since he's come is, especially since the Bacchus game, is just parroting it. Look, I know, you can pull stats up and they might not work out in his favour, but sometimes, look, and I know this, Jack, block your ears, I don't want to upset you, but look, sometimes, stats don't give you the full picture. Sometimes with a young player coming through, right, you just have to look at the ability on the ball, you have to look at his football IQ, the spaces he picks up, the runs he makes, and stuff like that. Stats will come further down the line.
Yeah.
But look, sometimes your eyes just don't lie to you, Jack. I'm sorry, I did tell you to block your ears. I didn't want to upset you. I love stats just as much as the next man. But sometimes, stats don't tell the whole truth. And sometimes you just have to trust your eyes because they do not lie to you. It's one of my favorite sayings. And look, with this guy, I just think from what I've seen, I just think he has it. Sometimes you can look at a player, it just gives you a rock on and you're like, he has it, Jack.
No, David, I would say, you don't need stats to describe this scenario that I had. The moment I was watching the AS comps, highlight reel of Brian Hill, the moment we signed him, the first time I watched it, Dave, I had the coffee in my hand. It was nice and early in the morning. After one of the megs that he had and maybe the first 2 minutes of the video, I'm not kidding, David, at least half of the coffee just spilled right onto the lap, boiling hot coffee, almost a McDonald's kind of case, had to go straight to the shower, wash the clothes and everything. It just David, stats cannot describe that scene that I was going through. And that is only having to do with Brian Hill's skill. His skill is that good that he practically makes you, drop your glass, makes you, maybe break a plate or something like that kind of thing. The guy's just that unbelievable. He just does things that you didn't think were possible. And no stats can ever describe that.
No, 100%. Well
Leighton,
said.
though, absolutely loved that, though. Leighton, good hype about Brian Hill. Good hype about Brian Hill. Loving it.
Leighton has a good set of vibes, I can tell.
Welcome to the positivity. Welcome to the positivity gang, Leighton. Absolutely love it. You're getting me hyped for that. Give me goosebumps about that, Leighton.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to sleep tonight in anticipation. It's like Christmas morning for me seeing Gill tomorrow. I expect him to walk out in a tunnel just gift wrapped, walking out, a box unfolded, and then just walking onto the pitch.
Ribbon. It's a ribbon.
Yeah, 100%. Faz Radfar says, I hope whoever starts for the first time grabs the opportunity. Yeah, look, 100%. I couldn't agree more. I don't care. Well, I do care who plays. Of course I do. Everyone knows that. But look, even if Winks and Ndombele or one of them do play or whatever, look, I want them to grab the opportunity. At the end of the day, I actually do want them to prove me wrong. I want people to come in here and say, Dave, you have pie on your face. That's what I do want. But I just beg, don't do it after one game. Relax, wait till there's a consistent run of form before you do it. Look, what I will say is, at the end of the day, I just want people to take the opportunity at time. I just don't want to go through what we've been through recently. Look, players that managed to get Poch sacked, get Mourinho sacked, make all these excuses about them. I'd rather look at themselves. Paratici has found them out straight away. Okay, there's the door. Off you go. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, look, I just hope that every player that's stuck here or not that is here now grabs their opportunity, no matter when it comes along. I want Gil to grab the opportunity. You know, like Dyer's grabbed the opportunity. Sanchez grabbed the opportunity. Dele Alli has grabbed the second opportunity he was given. That's all we want, Fazzy. Big up. Great comment. And Chris Mostopoulos, new channel member. Big up, Chris.
Great pronunciation too there, Dave. Great pronunciation.
Yeah, look, Jack, sometimes, you know, I explained the other day, you see a name, you black out and you just get it right, lad. You know, I just have one of them moments, lad. What can you do? You know, but love it. I love it. You know, I was sitting there, I was like, well, I go for it one time, then I was boom. There you go, I'm stopping.
You gotta have the confidence, Dave. You gotta have the confidence.
Oh, you do. Chris, another one I want to see on the fan shows on Monday. Big yourself up, my man. Big yourself up. Everyone else, keep getting the likes on the stream. It's important you keep smashing that like button. It's important that you smash that subscribe button if you're new. And not so important, but it is very nice and kind of is important at the same time. If you want to help us out with a super chat too and help support the channel, guys, and grab channel memberships just like Chris Mostopoulos and Jiminy did as well. Big yourselves up, absolute legends.
Big up Jiminy, big up Faz, big up Dark Sun G. Also Tin Man 007. I feel like we haven't seen you in a while, so it's good to see Tin Man 007. You know, Harris Army, when they haven't been here in a while, Dave, I feel like we can sometimes recognize it. And so Tin Man, good to see you as well. Everybody in the Harris Army, always good to have you. Always good to see you. We do appreciate you as always, and always good to have you.
No,
and Dermot as well. Dermot, always good to have Dermot. Whole Harris Army is here just to support us through this evening. You know, and the bit of the nerves. You know, we've been without the football, David, so we are a bit nervous. Maybe even overhyping. You know, some of our players. You know, out of nerves as well. But all I will say is there's no better place to do it than with the Harris Army.
I wouldn't say nerves, Jack. Look, you can say nerves. For me, look, it's always confidence, cockiness. You know, look, I'll go into every game flexing. You know me, I can't help it. Even if we're off the back of a spanking, I'll go into the next one flexing. I just can't help it. I just can't. You know, people have warned me about doing it all throughout my YouTube since we've been doing it, but I just can't help it. You know, I suck it up when we lose. I get angry, of course, but like, I just can't help it, Jack. I'm never nervous. I'm always positive, 100%. Look, I swear we don't get the name Positivity, you know, crew, you know, and Captain Positivity for no reason, Jack. You know, come on, we're all here. It's all positive. But look, you know, Jacko, Kane, you know, he's coming in tomorrow. Now, look, the way I see it is all the other players, Dyer, Sanchez, Lloris, you know, Son, Skip, Højbjerg, Dele Alli, Bergwijn, everyone, they've all put their bollocks on the line to put us in the position we are, which, may I add, is top of the league. 9 points, 3 clean sheets as well from 3 games. Now, look, we're carrying a few injuries, bit depleted. But is it now time for Kane to play his part? You know, are you expecting a big game from Harry Kane tomorrow? And do you expect him to show up? Because I know, look, watching him with England versus Poland, look, he wasn't great, I'll be honest with you. But one thing he has is that magic moment, that strike, you know, an absolute worldie. But are you expecting, do you expect Kane to show up tomorrow and basically, you know, dig Tottenham out where all the other bodies have done over the first 3 games?
Yeah, Dave, I mean, you brought it up even in the predicted lineup, you know, in the case of Harry Kane. Like you said, this is kind of the moment where he has to maybe prove why he is the Don, you know, and this is going to be a game for that where, you know, Sonny, I would say even Bergwijn, actually, especially in the City game, Lucas before as well, Højbjerg, of course, Dele Alli, lots of players, you know, obviously our defense, I mean, geez, our defense as well, of course, has all stepped up and has all put in a huge shift while Harry Kane has been gone. And it's now maybe Harry Kane's job to almost return the favor, you might say, almost prove to them, you know, why he's the one that is the first name in the team sheet sometimes, like especially Harry Kane. You know, if he's the first name in the team sheet, he almost has to kind of prove it. I know he's proven it multiple times over multiple seasons, being the best striker in the world that he is. But it is kind of, you know, considering this whole summer, this whole fiasco, also considering we're at top of the league, Dave, he's going to have to meet the level of his teammates. And the teammates have set a very high bar, and they've set a very high bar. And I will say, Harry Kane, he does have to step up tomorrow. And I don't think he's not going to shy away from it. I see him at least getting a goal, if not creating one, at the very least, at least creating one. But absolutely. And I would love to see Harry Kane step up for us. But Dave, I think you got a good shout out in the predicted lineup, and I'll give that predicted lineup another reference again. Everybody, please check out our predicted lineup, because David brought up some good points about maybe the necessity for Harry Kane to come through in this game.
No, 100%. Everyone get over and check it out. Thank you, Jack. I really appreciate that, you know. Leighton Evelyn says, I just signed up for gold. What's going on? I actually don't know, lad. It hasn't come up here to say you signed up for gold. It usually does, or just it comes up that say you're a channel member. It hasn't come up here. I'm not sure what is going on, but if there is problems, drop me an email, man, and I'll be happy to try and sort it out with you 100%. And we have a super chat from Dark Song G. This is the difference between Coco and Gil. The hope and confidence Gil will show up if Son is out. Coco was never that.
Oh, that's kind of another Jiminy kind of mic drop there, Dave. That's a bit of a Jiminy mic drop, I will say, actually, because that was actually what I was thinking without Hill, is that, of course, Bakoko, we knew what he could bring. But I looked at even last season, Dave. He had 700 Premier League minutes last season, and he had a ton of appearances for us, a ton of appearances in the Premier League, but only actually 700 total minutes. And if you think if that was all given to Brian Hill would have come up with the same amount of goals, at least the same amount of assists. And I'm just trying to be, put bare minimum right onto this. And then that just makes you think like Brian Hill offers something entirely different to what Coco would. And as well, Brian Hill is, of course, a lot younger than Coco at this stage as well. And so there's so much time for him to be able to catch up to whatever Eric Lamela has accomplished so far. So I really do feel like Dark Sun G, that is a bit of a mic drop. That is a bit of a mic drop when comparing the players, and maybe even explains why we even got him in the first place.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's it. Look, Dark Song G, he does do a lot of mic dropping moments. I think he got jealous of Jiminy, and he was like, no, I need to come in with my own, But it's probably the lack of food, Dark Song G, actually. Look, get some food into you, my man. Look, and you have a long time to wait for this game. He said he wasn't going to eat because he was too nervous for the game. But come on, Jiminy. You need to get something into you, my man. But no, I love the mic drop moment. Absolutely love it. And yeah, look, we brought Coco in thinking he was going to be that player. We spent a lot of money. I think he cost the most out of them 7 players we bought in out of the bail money. Look, injuries and whatever else, it's all come. But look, at the same time, look, one thing you can never really say bad about the guy is he did care when he played. He put his all in every time he played. Just the ability and everything else kind of was lacking a little bit, I'd say. Consistency as well. But big up Dark Song G. I really do think Gil is going to be the man. Trust me, I think a lot of people will be very surprised what this guy can produce. I really, really like him. And a lot of the Spanish media were in open arms that he was allowed to come, actually.
I loved that comment. It just shows like the difference is that, of course, he's not going to provide what Sonny provides, but he's just going to provide something that we know is actually very useful to the team, where it's really hard, with Lamela. We didn't ever really say that about Lamela.
Do you know what, Jack, right? Both of you, right? If I was talking about Ndombele before, if Brian Hill had another 2 years in Spain, 1,000,000% he would be going to one of the best clubs in the world right now, in terms of one of the biggest clubs. He would have he would have been like Barcelona's Messier or something like that. He would have been one of those kind of purchase, like the next big thing in Spain. He would have gone to one of them, and he probably would have gone to Barcelona. So we're lucky we kind of got him in the way we did by getting Lamela out as well. At the time we did.
Yeah. Look, only time will tell. Only time will tell. But look, it's a gamble. I'm happy to take. Look, we're getting rid of. Well, it's not really a gamble for me. Look, we're getting rid of Lamela. We're bringing in Gil, only playing 20 million extra. Happy days. Let's see what he can do. I do think he's going to be class. Leighton Evelyn. I'm not sure why it didn't come up. Look, I'll sort it out with you. Don't worry, my man. I'll sort it out.
We'll sort it out, Leighton. We'll sort it out. Usually, Google can make a mistake on this kind of end, so it is very possible, Leighton. But after the stream, we'll just check on everything, make sure it's all up to date, make sure it's all good. But if that is the case, Leighton, we do apologize. But nothing's showing up on our end at the moment.
No, I'll get it sorted, Leighton. I'll look into it as soon as the stream is finished, my man. Get in contact with me in the emails. And the email address is in the description below, by the way. And I'll let you know what's going on, my man. That's a promise. But Danny, just on Kane, look, I expect, is it now time for Harry Kane to, put everything behind him, repay the fans, repay the boys that have carried the first 3 games, and then, is it time for him to repay Tottenham tomorrow?
I think so. I mean, look, I know the last 2 home games we beat Crystal Palace 4-0 and 4-0. I think it was 4-0 last season, and then the season before that it was Pochettino's wasn't it his home game where we won 4-0 as well in his last season, because we had that back in the beginning of the season, didn't we? In his last season. So I know it's away, and the last 2 games have been what they have been, but I think this is a perfect opportunity for Harry Kane to step up tomorrow. I think. Yeah. And I'll just be so buzzing if Ndombele and Hill are playing with Harry Kane tomorrow, because they're going to give him so much chances to put the ball in the net, and I think he'll score 1 or 2 tomorrow. If them 2 are both playing, he's going to get 2 goals, at least 1 goal and 1 assist.
No, I agree. Look, we have two more questions to go through, guys, so just stick around. Two more questions to go through, then we are going to end off. I'm going to go and get a bit of dinner as well. I'm starving, and then I need to get an early night. But look, so the next question is Jacko, look, of course, Palace, they are trying to play a new system, a new way, not the boring Roy Hodgson, sit tight, catch team on a counter, try and nick it from a set piece. So they are trying to play more expansive, which, of course, leaves them a bit more open than what we've come up against in the last few years. Do you think that's playing right into Tottenham's hands doing that?
That's a good question, Dave. That's a really good question. I would first say long gone are the days for Roy Hodgson that he can play two center backs that are combined age older than him. Long gone are those days. I would also say, just even in general, just the players that Crystal Palace had before, most of them are gone. I mean, the exodus of players that were all above 30 at that squad is just unbelievable. I mean, most of them, they even just practically terminated contracts to free transfers. They were just getting them out the door, sooner than they could, even get the trash out the door, I would say. It really was quite impressive. And so it really is just a whole new Crystal Palace team that must be emphasized. It really must be emphasized. It's a whole new manager. They're not lining up in that 4-4-2 that Crystal Palace for so long were kind of just so steadfast with as well under the Roy Hodgson system. It's just a different team. And I think to answer David's question here, with the 4-3-3, if they were to line up with that 4-3-3 they've been using against our 4-3-3, I think that could actually help us out a lot. If they were to line up maybe in that 4-4-2 that they're actually quite known for from past years under Roy Hodgson, that actually could cause us a bit more trouble, because I feel like they could then select a bit more of an attacking lineup that actually would give us a bit of trouble in certain moments. Like maybe if they were to give Hotspur maybe a nod or something like that alongside a Zaha or something like that, that could be very dangerous for us, as well as keeping Benteke, of course. And I think we even said it in our 4-4-2, Dave, where we had, I think it was Jeffrey Schlupp on one wing, Zaha on the other, and then Hotspur and Benteke up top.
Schlupp's out tomorrow, though.
Schlupp is out tomorrow, so maybe that would be their best source for like that 4-4-2, because he could provide that defensive work rate. Schlupp,
yeah, he does.
So 4-3-3, if they're coming up against us with that 4-3-3 and they're going to try to play maybe a bit more expansive modern football that Patrick Vieira is probably trying to instill there, I think that does play into our hands, David, as well. They did have a clean sheet against Brentford, but following that game, 3-0 loss to Chelsea. And then also after that, then was the 2-2 draw against West Ham. And that 2-2 draw against West Ham, sure, they had two great goals from Conor Gallagher, but I do feel like West Ham, had plenty of chances created, as well as Chelsea, of course, absolutely routed them. So you do kind of think, David, maybe they are trying to play toe-to-toe against teams. They are trying to play maybe a bit, not play into other teams' hands, but they're trying to play a bit more expansive, a bit more modern, a bit more, I would say, above a relegation side kind of level football. And that will actually probably help us to answer your question. But at the same time, they have a lot better players than they did last season, and much better players than they did last season. So we can't take that lightly. Yeah,
that is true. That is a good point to do. Have a lot better players than what to do last season. Very good point to note there, Jack. Always bringing me back down to our Jack. You had to do it. But Danny, look, same question to you, Danny. Do you think there will be more spaces for us to play in tomorrow? Or do you think like Vieira might adapt these formations to kind of not give us so much room to play in tomorrow? Or do you think they fancy it knowing that sun's out?
No, I definitely think that I think Vieira has been brought in to kind of modernize the football, because the way they played, it was very kind of, I wouldn't say style. It was more like some games. There wasn't really a style with Roy Hodgson, or you've kind of seen in the past of them. Like it was kind of just some games they played defensive, some games they play attacking, and you never knew a Palace, right? It was one of those teams that they could go and beat like a top team like Man City or someone. Then the next week they go and lose to Burnley, and they. Do you know what I mean? It's what it was a bit like that. So now I think they're trying to like invent a style for them, and they're a lot more pressing. They're like Jack said, they're kind of trying to do what Leeds did when they came up. Like they're trying to play against teams. They're not gonna be scared of teams. They're gonna try and play their game, and I think that will probably give us less space, which is probably why you need Hill and Ndombele, because they're the type of people you need who are very good on the ball. And if you've got a
does
team
it make for a more exciting game then, maybe, Danny, than we've seen before?
It definitely will be. But it all depends on how Tottenham decide to play, whether they play with no fear, whether they kind of maybe a bit more reserved. It all depends on how they play. Because they were I know, like against Watford, we were still kind of a bit more reserved, but we had chances, and we could have finished the game off a lot quicker. But look, Palace is a bogey team. but we've just got to. I think if we play to the way we can play with 100% effort, regardless of who plays, apart from Harry Winks, he's an exception because I'm scared when he plays. But yeah, I think we could win. I think we'll win tomorrow.
Definitely, David. Any answers to your brilliant question?
That
was a good question, David. What do you feel like? Is it with Crystal Palace maybe playing this new way? Does that help us or does that hurt us?
Do you know what I think it helps us? Look, if you look at the way we played in the first 3 games, very counter-attacking sort of football. Look to pounce on the ball in the middle and try and break from there. If not, sit tight, take the ball and try and get a breakaway. I actually think it might play into our hands, because look, last season, especially in the 1-1, I know Guaita made a lot of saves and everything else, but look, if they were to play that counter-attacking, right now it would be like, think about it, 2 teams kind of just waiting for each other to counter. So it would be a very, very boring game.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that they are coming out to play, with Zaha pushing up, look, that big absolute trunk up top, Benteke, absolute huge. He's a unit, that guy. And whoever else plays. You have Conor Gallagher in midfield who will break forward, McCarter who will break forward. So if you could turn the ball in midfield and catch them further up the field, perfect. We have a lot less players to break down. We have Kouyaté, Anderson, Ward, Tyreek Mitchell and Guehi left. Look, Guehi is the only one capable out of them. Apart from that, you go down Ward's side, you're going to skin him. Brian Hill skin him alive. Kane, get him to run off Anderson. He's going to beat him to pace all day long. And then you have Lucas. He's just going to draw free kicks from Tyreek Mitchell all game long as well. So, look, I definitely think, that it does play into our hands. It gives us a lot more space to play in than previous. Look, we've seen a lot of long-range strikes against Palace. Dele Alli from the edge of the box where he flicks it over the player's head, volleys it. Kane last season in the 4-0. You know what I mean? They do like to keep it tight, and maybe shooting from outside the box isn't one of our specialties. We don't really score too many from outside the box. So it will play into our hands, I think, given especially with Brian Hill. And if I was Vieira, I would be speaking to Joe Ward on that, because the last thing you want to do is give this guy any space, because he will be lethal with the space. He'll end up sucking players in. You know what I mean? And then that gives space for Kane to run in behind, gives him plenty of space, and it'll create space for others. So, look, I think it's dangerous for them to come at us tomorrow. I really do. But there is another part of me, Jack, that makes me think that they will go 4-4-2, because they've done that against Chelsea. And obviously Vieira sees that I'm thinking if he's up against a bigger team that he knows better than these guys, keep 2 big men up front, see what he can get out of the game. You know what I mean? And then try and get the midfielders to push on and help them in the game if they can. So, look, I would think maybe I wouldn't be surprised to see a 4-4-2 from them tomorrow and just try and hit the 2 big men and get them to fancy their chances against Dyer and Tanganga. So it'd be a very interesting game. But I do think, I do think with them coming forward and coming at us, look, especially I would have said last season it probably would have actually suited them to do that, that. But this season with the midfield, we have the lean, aggressive, killing, winning team machine that we have right now. Look, I think it's playing right into our hands, especially in that midfield area with McCarter in there. He's getting on in age. He's not the fastest. Okay, Kouyaté, he's good at breaking up play, not confident on the ball. I wouldn't say as good on the ball. So it's an area I'd be looking to take tomorrow. And then with the players pushing on, like I was saying, you will have that space to beat them. So I think it'll be a very good game to watch tomorrow.
Great answer.
Thank you, Jacko. Look, I'm on form today, answers questions. Thanks, Jack. I appreciate it.
But it was also Danny had, a slightly different answer as well, though. So it wasn't all, the same answers. I feel like Danny, actually said it's actually going to be a bit more challenging for us, having a team come up against us. So honestly, great answers from both of you.
No, absolutely love it. But look, Jack, this is one you're going to love. And I made this one specifically for you, actually. So do you think that Nuno will stick with the conventional 4-3-3 that has been working? Or can you see him making changes and perhaps trying that 5-3-2, especially with Chelsea in mind next week?
Yeah, that's interesting, Dave. That's a really good question, considering Chelsea is in play, and also Chelsea, are running that very, very, very difficult to handle 3-5-2 system, or even a 3-4-3 system as well. So you do have to take that into consideration. With that in mind, David, that's a really good question, Dave. It seems like then the 5 in the back would be very plausible, with that in mind. He probably would want to work on it, give a bit of practice to it. Also considering, all the players, that are missing in the defensive aspect as well. You just do think that, there is going to be, maybe a bit of a need, for defensive assuredness. But like I said, Dave, with a lot of defenders missing, does that mean, we might be risking, some players, Ben Davies will then have to come in, the back three. Does maybe Nuno really trust Ben Davies to do that? I'm not so sure. But also Tanganga might be better in that back five or back three system. So it makes a lot of sense, Dave. It makes a lot of sense. Also, maybe with Skippy being injured, Dave, it could make sense to just do something like a Hojbjerg or a Hojbjerg Telly midfield, maybe a Hojbjerg Tangi, who knows, for 60 minutes. It all makes sense, Dave. So what I would say is maybe I'm going to stick with the 4-3-3, Dave, but that 3-5-2 sounds very convincing.
Yeah, no, it does. And look, you could see the reasons behind it if he does do it. Look, I know what Jack is saying about risking. We don't have centre-backs to be risking right now. So that's another very good point. Leighton Evans says, where'd you get the hats, lads? Look, from a secret location. That's what I'll say. Nah, look, everywhere I go, whenever I'm out, I'm always keeping my eye out. As soon as I see a flat cap straight away, I'm all over it, So I go over and buy one. No specific place. I just type them in on Google, see what I like. And if I think it's worth it and I think it's got the good padding, quilted, sits right on the head, a good bowl shape in the hat, brilliant. And of course, quilted on the inside. Then, of course, I make the purchase. But just type them in on Google, lad, and get your flat cap. Absolutely. It's not. I'm not going to say it's a necessity, Leighton, but it's a preference if you come on the fan show with one on Monday. That'd be absolutely ideal. But if you don't worry. Come on anyway, my man. Come on anyway. But Jack, Danny, same to you, man. Do you think Nuno will just, it's not broke, don't fix it, stay with the 4-3-3? Or do you think maybe he could have one eye on the Chelsea game, maybe sees a weakness and might try the 5-3-2 or whatever it is?
It's hard to say. I think it's hard to say. I think this is a game where I don't think anyone knows really what he's going to do. I think he will stick with the same, just because it's kind of. I think that's probably what they've been training a lot more of because of the players. I still think he needs another. I think what he wanted to do was go 3-5-2, and that's why they wanted the other striker, right? Or they wanted to get another winger or another midfielder to play, so they could play either Son and Kane up top, or Kane another striker, and then have Son in there with two other midfielders. Who knows? But look, I think he's going to go stick with the same, just because it's probably what they've sort of been training, and I think that's probably what they're used to at the moment, and it just keeps a bit more continuity between what they've been doing and tactic wise. I think we'll probably see a change in the Rennes game, if I'm honest. That's where I think we're going to see a change.
Yeah.
And then I think that's where he'll probably trial maybe three at the back to see what he wants to do against Chelsea, because Chelsea play three at the back usually, so he might want to go and match them. Who knows? But look, four at the back worked against Man City. Why won't it work against the next teams we've got coming up? So yeah,
Good point. Good point, Danny. Good point. Well, look, it's not Kaniki Answer Me, so I don't have any quick fire questions for you guys. Sorry to disappoint. I like the quick fire questions because it kind of gives you a bit of a come down off the show. You can do the quick fire ones, but now we just have to get our heart rates back down to normal without any of the come down off it. Sorry about that. But look, Jack, one last question. Score prediction, my man.
I heard 1-0 from Henry Wright today, and that did sound convincing. And I know, David, you actually somewhat disagree with that, but I am counting on Henry Wright's kind of field about it. I think it's going to be a lot tougher than maybe we're giving it credit for, but I'm going to go 2-0.
No, absolutely love it, Jack. I'll goal scorers as well.
But also, Dave, I will say with that 2-0, yeah, my goal scorers, I think it's going to be a Harry Kane brace. I think maybe a Harry Kane penalty, and then, maybe Dele Alli or Brian Hill, Lucas, maybe even Harry wins a penalty in the box. Maybe that's how we start off the game, open the scoring, and then maybe second half or something, Harry Kane buries one in the 55th, 60th minute, just to, put away the game. That's how I see it going. It's hard, Dave, in the regards of, maybe making a prediction, but yeah, 2-0 for me. 2-0 for me.
No, I love it. Absolutely love it, Jacko. Everyone, Harris, Harry, get your score predictions in, guys. I want to see your score predictions as well. Danny, score prediction and goal scores, my man.
Okay, my heart is saying 3-1. My head is saying 1-0. I'm gonna go with my heart this time. I think we could be a bit more surprised than we expect. But again, wouldn't be surprised if it's just a 1-0 because that's kind of the way we've been playing at the moment in the Premier League. And I think they'll probably be maybe a little bit less risk-free. But yeah, I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to go Harry Kane brace. And I think Dele Alli is going to score tomorrow. I think Dele Alli is going to score.
I have an odd feeling too. I put him as the key player. I really would love him to score in this game actually as well. I would absolutely love him to score.
If Hill starts, I would love it. I think we all would go absolutely fucking nuts if Hill scored a debut goal. I don't care if we were tapping or not. Everyone would go nuts. You'd see it I think you'd see it in the players as well. But I've just got a funny feeling Dele Alli's going to score tomorrow. I think Hill's going to get an assist as well if he starts.
Nice. I love it. Look, for me, my sensible side is saying 1-0, at the usually tight affairs at Selhurst. But look, my delusional side is taking over today, and I am going 3-0. I'm going 3-0 Tottenham. I'm comfortable with the clean sheet. We've been keeping clean sheets. I'm going my man Harry Kane to have the best hair day possible. He's going to have it slick. He's going to have a bit of wax, bit of hairspray. That bad boy ain't moving. He's going to have a fresh chop. Look, for me, I'm going to go with a brace from my man, Harry the Hurricane. I can't wait to come in and cause that hurricane and take the Eagles out of Selhurst. And then, look, for me then, I'm going to go with Brian Gill Messi to get the one. I sense it. I feel it. I think think it could be the birth of a new era at Tottenham Hotspur with this kid coming in. I absolutely can't wait for it. Look, I do maybe if Gill doesn't score, I would go with Dele Alli to maybe score, but I'm thinking Brian Hill tomorrow if he plays. I really rate this kid.
Also, David, we would be only one of 4 teams. Let us remind everybody. So I know we're all a bit nervous for this game, but let us remind ourselves. Nuno has already broken a very big record for Spurs managers, but he's now about to break an even better record for just managers in general, you might say, where he might be. I'm not sure if in terms of first campaign with the club, he might be the first for this, but he'll be one of 4 clubs to begin a campaign, to begin a top flight campaign with 4 clean sheets. If he were to have a clean sheet tomorrow, 4 wins, 4 clean sheets, he'd be one of only 4 clubs in, top flight history to be able to do that. And I think, some of them are all the way back in like 1905 and stuff like that. So Nuno is breaking records.
I think Man City is the only team to do it in the Premier League era. Could be Chelsea as well, and I think the other team is Aston Villa.
Yeah. So it just shows that's a small party. That's a small list to be in. Nuno's breaking records, Dave.
No, look, that's what we've got him for. To break records. That's what we want.
The one we didn't expect to as well. The one that we least expected.
100%. William Kelly says, "Great show, boys. Match starts at 9:30 p.m. tonight over in Australia. 2-1 Spurs. Come on, you Spurs." No, absolutely loving the confidence, William. Look, I'm sure you'll be a few Fosters deep at that stage, chilling out, watching the game. Look, I think that's what you drink over there in Australia, but you're Irish over there, so you probably have a keg of Guinness sitting in there with a tap. I know what some of my friends have done when they go abroad. They set up a little bar in the house, buy the kegs, put them in there. So, no, look, I hope you enjoy the game tonight, my man. I really do. And loving the confidence, man. And he says, "Come on, you Spurs." Great way to end any super chat. Absolutely love it, William Kelly. You're a top man. I really appreciate it.
Big hype, William. Good vibes, William. Good vibes. I absolutely love that. And as well, to Dark Sun G, he's going to be watching an 8:30 p.m. game, I believe, tonight, David. And then now with William Kelly watching a 9:30 p.m. game, they're all going to be kind of I would say for the Aussies, for the Oceania region, for our Korean fans as well. It's all a bit of a better match time for them. While we're kind of maybe complaining, for, the first time in a long time about maybe the match time, it's a bit better one for them. So I'm actually quite happy for them, David. They finally get something that's a bit more agreeable with them when it comes to matches.
It's for once, it's actually me complaining about the time, to be honest with you. The weekend, I like an extra hour or 2 in the bed on the lion, but look, don't worry. It's Spurs. I'm going to get up 9 a.m. I'll have the Spurs songs in the background, walking around, singing them, doing my chores, getting my breakfast together, getting my pre-match meal for the pre-match pump-up, and then into the game where me and Jack will be doing the watch-along. But look, Danny, where can people find you, my man?
Right here, man. Everyone can find me here. I mean, I'm everywhere. It's like Spurs fans. Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. We're Tottenham boys making all the noise. Everywhere we go. That's me. But also, I just want to say one thing. Piss off, Bob.
Big up, Bob. Danny, Ellie says, "You lads are legends." Thank you, Ellie. Appreciate that. You're a legend too. Says, Ellie's "Danny, do you want a tanny go to Cyprus?"
Do you want a tanny go to Cyprus?
Ellie M&M, that's who she is now. Big up, Ellie. Really, really appreciate it. Top woman. Jack, look, where can people find you, my man?
Yeah, David, they can go find us over at Flat Cap Euro Talk. Champions League is coming up this next week, David. I'm quite excited for it, especially, the Champions League group predictions video is going to be coming out Monday, everybody. So stay tuned for that. David and I will be breaking down our Champions League group predictions, especially because if you didn't take a look at the Champions League groups. There are a lot of actually kind of groups of death, so you actually wouldn't realize there are a few teams that are going to be knocked down to the Europa League, if even missing out Europe entirely. There are actually some quite quality clubs. And then in other groups, there are actually some teams that are kind of grouped together, maybe quite fairly, where, they might all be kind of thinking, they have a good shot at going a bit further than they usually would think. And so it's going to be a very, very, very interesting Champions League group predictions breakdown, David. It's going to be released on Monday, everybody, as well. The weekend watch list is out. RB Leipzig and Bayern are playing this weekend. There's lots of good stuff in Serie A. I think it's Napoli and Juventus. There's some really, really, really good games going on as well. I included a Turkish derby in there. So please, 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 please check out Flat Cap Euro Talk. Again, there's going to be tons of stuff coming out this upcoming next week because Champions League is upon us.
No, it definitely is upon us. And look, it's sad that Tottenham aren't there. But look, we'll try and enjoy it as much as we can. In fact, look, I'm going to call the Europa Conference League the Champions League just because Tottenham are in it. So, look, no, definitely get over there.
Conference of Champions, Dave. That's what I've called it, the Conference of Champions.
No, 100%, lad. Absolutely love it. Definitely. But look, guys, everyone do get over and check out the Flat Cap Euro Talk. Link for the channel. Sorry, is below in the description, guys. Look, get over there. You want to know what when Spurs will finish at 12:30 or kickoffs at 12:30, be over by 3 o'clock. We'll have the 3 points. That's it for the weekend. So look, you want other games around Europe to watch? Get over and check out Jack's weekend picks because you're going to have a lot of time. You're going to have Saturday, afternoon, Saturday evening, and all day Sunday. And I know you men out there wanting excuses to get out. The missus be like, oh, Spurs, we can go shopping, we can do this. You just like, no. There's other games on that I have.
You're missing good Bundesliga games, yeah, everybody. And as well, I provide you the time. I provide you the channel you can watch it on. I mean, all you have to do is just watch a vid. You can even just skip right through it to the ones that you're looking forward to. Maybe a bit of Bundesliga, maybe a bit of Serie A, whatever you're looking for, guys. Honestly, check it out. The time, the channel, everything there is for you. You don't even have to look it up on the internet yourself, Dave.
No, you don't. Jack gives it all to you, Get over there, check it out. What more can the guy do? He's producing absolute fantastic content over there. Can't wait to do the Champions League predictions. We already done the Premier League prediction and can't wait to get our teeth into the watch-alongs to watch some of the bigger boys around Europe play. Should be good fun. But look, guys, in terms of what's coming up on the channel, super chat from Emily Dunn, Flat Cap Army, love the Flat Cap Euro Talk.
Wow, Emily. Appreciate you, Emily. Do appreciate you, Emily. Do appreciate you. Absolute legend. She says, Flat Cap Army, love the Flat Cap Euro Talk. Please subscribe. Really do appreciate you, Emily. Do appreciate you. Paro Miguel Escobardo also saying it there. An absolute legend, Paro Miguel. I love you and appreciate you. Oh, this guy's way too kind, David. This guy's way too kind to me, as well as Catman Jess, as well as plenty of others. Shamu, of course, absolute legend to me as well, Shamu. But Paro Miguel Escobardo, Shamu, Catman Jess, also kind to me.
No, they are. Absolutely. Keep being so kind as well. Because, Jack, the more popular you get, the more hate you'll end up getting along the way as well. It comes with it, So enjoy the love while you're getting it, my man. Jack Toffee20 says Jack master tactician. He is. He definitely is. And Jerry Sugar Kilgane. This guy keeps changing his name every time. He was like, what was it? Jack Jerry King of the Hill. Now it's Jerry Sugar Hill Gang. Absolutely, absolutely love it. Brilliant, good banter. Big up, big yourself up. Look, where is Danny's cap? That's a good question. I think it must have blown off in the wind when he's walking his dog.
Must have been blown by the Hill Force winds, Dave.
100%.
The Gill Force wins. The Gill Force wins.
Look, they're coming in tonight. Look, bit of a weather update. There is Hill Force winds. Coming in around expect around Selhurst Park tomorrow around 12:30. Will last all the way through till about 2:30, 3 o'clock. So anyone that is going to the game tomorrow, make sure you get your hats and your scarves. Wrap up warm, and most importantly, don't be out in the open where the gale force, where the Hill Force winds can take you, because they'll definitely be swirling around. Leighton Evelyn with the super chat says, "Boys, sort out my membership. I know you will. I support the channel. Can't wait to get on." No, look, 100%. I promise. As soon as I'm finished this, I will get onto it. I'm going to have a look, see what's gone wrong, and I will sort it out with you, my man. Do not worry about that. Just drop me an email, man, so I can contact with you and have some communication with you and basically let you know what is going on. But don't worry, I'll get it sorted. Absolute legend, Leighton. I can't wait to speak to you Monday, my man. 9:30 Monday is the fan show. Big yourself up. Guys, like Leighton, why I tell everyone what's coming up, if you have enjoyed the stream, feel free to put in a super chat, to just help support the channel. But look, guys, what's coming up? So tomorrow we have the Crystal Palace versus Tottenham Hotspur watch along, starting at about 12 tomorrow. Look, a lot of people have been asking us for one. They want the void filled with Matty being out at the minute. So look, until Matty comes back, we will provide watch alongs on this channel. Look, I'm not expecting big numbers, not expecting massive support or anything like that. It's just for me, Jack, and the Harris Army who are looking for the watch-alongs just to chill out and enjoy the game together. But big yourselves up. Make sure you do follow me over on We Are Tottenham TV tomorrow, starting at 11 p.m. for the pre-match pump-up, guys. Anyone that has a membership over there, I would love you to come on and have a chat with me. The show is for you guys out there, the supporters who want to come on and have a chat before the game, and it's also my job to get you pumped up. I haven't heard one person yet say, with me leaving, saying that they haven't been pumped up. Usually when I'm finished with the show, they're absolutely, ripping their cushions apart. There's feathers all over the apartment. They're so excited. They're raring to go. Honestly, sometimes, they have to take the TV out and bring in a new one. It's ridiculous. I get you that pumped, that hyped. Jack's absolutely loving it. Jack can't William Kelly with the massive super chat. Big up, William Kelly. Really? Oh, Jack, you got to stop.
You broke me, Dave. That's what I will say, Dave. It is quite impressive, I would say, how much we don't break each other, but you did break me there. You did break me there. Sometimes, I am surprised how we don't break down, but that one got me, Dave. That one did get me, because I wasn't even trying to pay attention, Dave, and I still heard those words, and it just... I'm sorry, Harris Army. Got a bit distracted. But William, you guys, Harris Army knows David does crack me up. William Kelly, honestly, William Kelly. William Kelly, I would love to watch one with you down under, especially considering, I don't know why it is William Kelly, but it's supposed to be chilly today and it was actually quite hot. If you're having the winter down there, let me come to you, William Kelly. Let me come to you and we'll watch it down there with you, with maybe a bit of Foster's, maybe, a 3:30 a.m. game, David, we'll kind of party it all up night with William, get back to the hotel, maybe to Williams, flat, watch it there with a bit of breakfast, while we're all a bit hungover from maybe the night before, and just watch our Spurs, eat some Eagles wings. But William, absolute legend. And one day in a pandemic-free world, we would absolutely do that. But William, I'm already just licking my lips for it. Sounds way too much fun. With you, William.
No, look, William, I can't promise I will ever be over in Australia. Look, I've had families' weddings out there that I've missed because I can't deal with all these animals, the spiders, the snakes, and, the vision I have is just, you walk into a house, next thing a spider just drops down in front of you and everything else. Honestly, I would be so terrified. I'll end up running around the street naked because I'm that fast. My clothes will be left where I was standing and I'd be gone. You know what I mean? I'm so afraid. I'm terrified. I'm not going to lie. But look, my man, I know you are from Ireland. I know you will be home at some stage. So when you are home, hit me up, man. I'll meet you for a pint. Not a problem, my man. 100%. We'll go for a pint and watch a game together. But big up, man. I really, really do appreciate the support, lad. I really, really do appreciate it. And look, hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we get the win today, man. Hopefully we get the win. I know it's today for you because it's 9:30 tonight. So look, hopefully we do get the win for you, my man. I really do. And
William, he does mean that, though. William, he definitely does mean that. If you're anytime you're Ireland side, wherever you are, just wherever you are, believe me, David will meet you in the middle of the country for the pub. He'll meet you all the way in Cork for the pub, whatever it may be. Just please, William, you're an absolute legend of the Harris Army. Stick around. You're an absolute legend, and I'm looking forward to this date, William. It sounds fun.
No, absolutely. I really do love it. Big up, William. I really appreciate it, my man. And look, tune in tomorrow for the watch along. You'll definitely enjoy it. We'll all enjoy the game together. I'm not expecting much in, so we can all sit there and enjoy the game together, guys. William Kelly says 27 degrees here in Queensland, Jack.
See, that's actually a bit interesting because that's, I think, what it was around today for me. So I'm a bit disappointed to hear that, William, but I know you have much cleaner, better air over there. I bet, also you have that bit ocean breeze as well. That sounds quite nice. I know the ocean breeze High has is a bit smellier, maybe not so pleasant. So William, again, personally for me, I'm not too scared of the bugs. I'm not too scared of the creepy crawler ones. So I'd be happy to go down there, William, and meet up with you as well. I know plenty of beautiful. I heard Melbourne is absolutely beautiful. I know Sydney is absolutely beautiful as well. So I'd love to meet up with you, William, as well. He's saying he's in Queensland though. So Queensland, I've also heard great things about. So I'd absolutely love to, William. Sounds unbelievable. And as well, everybody. William, I know you're an Irishman, but everybody down in the Oceania region, from New Zealand to Australia, they're honestly such legends, Dave. They're so generous. They're just such huge fans as well. I mean, they're waking up at ungodly hours, ungodly hours for this team as well. So, William, really big yourself up. You're a true fan, true legend of the Harris Army as well.
No, it is. It's insane. It's insane. Look, William, I might get out there someday. You never know. Look, I might put my fears aside. But if I do, man, I expect a nice tour of Queensland. I want to see the good sights. I want to see what it's all about. I want to see why so many are flocking over there. Big yourself up, my man. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I really do. I really appreciate it, guys. Keep getting keep supporting the channel. It's a massive help. Absolute legends. And Jack, we have a comment here for you. It was by let me see. It was from Twan. Yes, he's calling you a legend, Jack. He says you're a legend as well, and big up the Harris Army. Big up. Really appreciate it. But guys, what is coming up? Like I said, watch along tomorrow. Me and Jack will be starry-eyed, sitting there with our cappuccinos, waiting for this game to come tomorrow, and can't wait to get into it. It's going to be an absolute riot, especially when we're winning. I'm so cocky. It's unbelievable. You'll get some great one-liners out of me. So make sure you come in and tune in. Jack will keep me down to earth. And if we're losing, you're just going to get angry. So I'm still funny when I'm angry, I think. So look, you should enjoy yourselves. But look, what I will say as well is tomorrow, then we will be dropping out a preview or a review as well, and a players rating tomorrow as well. So a busy day ahead tomorrow. Don't forget the pre-match pump up at 11. Then on Sunday, we're actually have nothing on Sunday, guys, believe it or not. Nothing on Sunday. It's a work day for me and Jack behind the scenes, and then back Monday with a fan show, and then I'll let you know Monday for the rest of the week, because it's a pretty hectic schedule next week with Europa League conference games and that. So, and the Champions League back and everything else. So it's going to be a hectic one next week. But what I will say is there's going to be plenty of content on both channels for you guys to consume. The Flat Cap, Euro Talk, and the Irish Hotspur here. So look, I want to say a massive thank you to you, the Harris Army, for all the support. Smashing that like, tuning in, subscribing, sharing, even people sharing it on Twitter when the shows are going live and everything else. I see everything. The super chats, the financial support is amazing, guys. It's badly needed. Every YouTube channel needs it that doesn't have a sponsorship. So I really appreciate it as well, guys. And look, roll up tomorrow, everyone. Get out of bed early. I want to hear everyone up at 9 o'clock with the Spurs songs on, doing the mopping the floors, whatever you have to do to keep the missus off your back so you can chill out and watch the game. Absolutely love it, guys. William Kelly doesn't want us to go. This is a good problem to have. Big up, William. He says, I could tell you some stories about my encounters with animals out here. Yeah, look, share one or two. Definitely share one or two. I like to hear stories about animals. Look, believe it or not, I'm actually allergic to horsehair. Very, very allergic to horsehair. I nearly died. Went horse riding in fourth year in school. It's like a year between exams, and you just kind of chill out for the year, do stupid studies and stuff. So we ended up doing equestrian studies, right, which is like horse racing and stuff. So stupid. I don't enjoy it. And so we said they made us go horse riding out in Kane in the equestrian centre. So grand. So I was up on the horse that I thought I was doing deadly. And next thing I could feel the helmet getting tighter and tighter, right? What's going on here? Like, this doesn't feel right. So I just jumped off the horse, lad, left him running around, jumped off the horse, lad, and took off the helmet, lad. I broke out in hives and everything else, lad. Yeah, and the school left me there, lad. Didn't bother trying to get me back home or anything like that, right? And by the time I had to wait for everyone else to finish and then get on the bus and get home, and by the time I got down to the doctors, and my doctor wasn't open, so I had to go to another doctor's that I don't usually use. And thank God he was open, lad, and he gave me injections because my throat was closing over, lad. Nearly died. So allergic, man. It's unbelievable. Jeez. So William Kelly,
known, Dave, of all things as well, to have such a violent reaction to that. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Oh, lad, yeah, it is. It is.
William, William, all I would say, William, is, let me know if any of these encounters, have anything to do with Eagles, maybe a couple of Eagles, you snatched out of the air, like Hotspur. I know Hotspur is probably, thinking about, the Eagles eggs that he's probably going to be eating for breakfast, Dave. Maybe maybe a poached Eagles egg, is probably what he's having, probably mixed with some wings and drumsticks. But William Kelly, honestly, I bet down under you've had some crazy stories. But I know Hotspur, the Viking, is probably willing to maybe be my protector if I ever were to go down there.
No, 100%. And look, before we go as well, I do want to say, actually, we do have a show coming up, guys. I'd love everybody to get the support behind it. It's the show with Ellie and Philip, guys. Two channel regulars, 2 channel legends. Great backers in the channel as well, just like you all are. So I really hope that you do get behind these 2 as well. And look, we're going to be doing a variety of shows, to be honest with you. Look, there's a lot of ideas there. And it'll be out in the next week, 2 weeks, I'd say. So, look, guys, keep an eye out for it and really do get behind it when it comes out. But look, we are out. We are out, guys. That's enough from us. You don't want to hear me rambling on anymore. I'd probably give a few a headache. But look, what I will say is we're Tottenham Hotspur. We're back. We're big, we're bad, and we're top of the league. In Nuno we trust. Come on, you Spurs, and let's eat the Eagle wings tomorrow with Jack.
We trust.
Boys, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Woo!
Everywhere we go, everywhere we go.